Welcome to Diceborn! This is our show from the 17th Shard where we're playing a game of the Mistborn Adventure Game. This is episode 13 of our campaign. This is the finale. We are. If we don't get everything done this episode, then
we're in trouble, man.
We're in trouble. I'm gonna jump into who we are. I'm Ben. I'm playing Dervish. Hopefully you guys know that by now because you're on episode 13. I'm joined by Ian.
Hey, I play Royce Hadriel, Tin Eye Archivist, acquirer of information.
Hell yeah. I'm also joined by Grace.
Hey, I play Marelyn from Hallie.
I'm joined by Matt.
I play Luka Ilariel, electromisting and expert bluffer. I think is my new trade.
Yes. And I'm also joined by Rosemary.
I play Hallie de Pazel, and every once in a while she reminds folks that she's fire soul faring in wonderfully fun ways.
Oh yes.
She's also good at putting things together and sometimes taking things apart.
Yeah, melting them down. Grace, what is Marelyn? Everyone else has done it.
Marelyn is a brass 7 specializing in social engineering, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Dervish is a big old Kolos-blooded dude who likes to hit stuff and has family issues.
So many of those issues have been solved.
Actually, many of them have actually been solved. Things are going well for Dervish right now. You know, with violence.
Yeah.
And
Dervish's arc is definitely an upward one.
It's. I feel like it's dipped, and then now it's on its way up. I'm also joined by Natasha.
Lord Roller and emotional trauma inflector.
Yes, thank you.
She does it so well.
Absolutely. So yeah, as I said, this is episode 13 of Diceborn. This is the finale of season 1. We are going to continue recording these like in the background, but the scheduling has caught up with us, and we are unable to we're recording this 2 weeks before it goes out. So it's going to be a rush to edit. And so yeah, like I said.
And we also recorded the previous episode yesterday.
Yes. So we're all fresh. Don't worry, we'll still do a recap. But we're very fresh on what's happening. And so for today's giveaway, we'll give you over to Giveaway Ben. What is up, friends and family? It is me, Giveaway Ben, here with you for the very final Diceborn giveaway. Now, okay, so last week's winner is Artur J. Well, Artur B. There you go. Well done, Artur B. You have won that full set of the Mistborn Adventure Game rulebook, the Alloy of Law rulebook, the Masks of the Past expansion, and the full set of Alloy of Law dice. So thank you to Crafty Games for that final giveaway. They have been super supportive of us all through this game, and so we really appreciate those. I have one final giveaway that I've saved, this very special one, for this last episode. You may remember earlier in the series, I joked that the goodie bags that we're getting from Dragonsteel, we gave 2 of those away earlier this season, wouldn't be including the leatherbound because that comes later. And my friends, it is time to give away a Mistborn leatherbound. Now, not this leatherbound, this is my Mistborn leatherbound. I'm not giving this one away. However, I am giving away a Mistborn leatherbound. This is from Dragonsteel. They have been kind enough to provide us with this completely free of charge. So we love you, Dragonsteel. Obviously, we all love Dragonsteel. That's why we're here. That's why we're a fan of Brandon Books. It's Brandon's company. I got this from them. You know, it's great. And so I am giving this one away on this final episode. End off with a bang. And so all you need to do is, this one is just your way bog standard Diceborn giveaway. Be a subscriber, leave a comment. All you need to do. Don't need to do anything special. No jumps no hoops to jump through. You just be a subscriber, like the video, comment on the video. We'll make liking. Yeah, like the video as well. We'll make that a thing as well. And then, you were happy as Larry, and you'll be entered into winning that leatherbound. Now, we probably get less than 40 comments, 50 comments on most videos. So it's a real good chance of winning this $100 leatherbound. And so I would absolutely go and do that. Although encouraging people to go and do that will mean there'll be less chance of you winning. But who cares? That's how statistics works. Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. As is last episode, I'm not going to be announcing the winner next episode. However, we are going to be doing a post Diceborn Season 1 live stream sometime early December. I don't think we have a date in just yet, but make sure we will announce that when that is planned. And so, we'll announce the winner of that leatherbound during that live stream. So watch this episode, enjoy this finale. It's been a huge amount of fun doing all these. And so I'm going to let you get back to the episode. Bye-bye.
Do we want to introduce our special guest this episode?
Oh, no. Oh, yes. I'm also joined by Daisy. Daisy's here saying hello. Say hello, Daisy. Just nothing going on up there. It's a thunderstorm.
I'm very worried.
Yeah, there's a thunderstorm on right now, so she's very scared. So she's come to go. She wants to sit with me in the basement. Cool. So thank you to Giveaway Ben for that. So without much further ado, Natasha, did you want to kick off episode 13, the finale of season 1 of Diceborn?
I do. And I want to kick it off with the fact that we left off, 1, with the group planning, but 2, with Luka talking to Rafe and them having a very heated argument, passionate argument.
Spirited conversation.
Sure, we'll call it that. Where Luka tried to leave, then Rafe left, and then, they eventually came to terms with, Luka's gonna stay here and try and help.
And Rafe isn't married yet, so stuff can still happen. We can fix the relationship. We can fix it.
We can rebuild it. We can make it stronger, faster, better.
I'll say we've had one set of exes get back together. This last few episodes, we could get another set.
Yes. So why don't we talk about what else happened in the episode? Speaking of exes getting back together, wait, was that what happened?
No. Okay. Yeah. So no, that wasn't quite what happened.
Oh, it's totally what happened.
So we kind of, as the group, the non-Luka group, we split off to do various tasks to try and get to him as quick as possible in the best way we know how. Me and Hallie headed over to the Brass Ladle to go get Adora's necklace with the shard of Lord Ruler's stained glass window, which is a sign of membership within the Sliverist's kind of secret goings on. And while there, I did have a conversation with my ex Leah.
After dodging the Connors.
After dodging the Connors, who were searching for Ghost. Yeah. Because we might be wanted for some light kidnapping. And whilst there, we had a conversation, and I would say we took a good step forward in our relationship. Definitely not back together. I wouldn't go that far, but there was acknowledgement.
There were smooches involved.
There were smooches involved, and there was acknowledgement of each other's feelings, and there was some. Dervish blabbed his life story to her terribly, as he is wont to do. Yeah. Progress, yeah. And so that's when we left off to whatever Ian was doing.
So Royce gave lesson number 2 to young Ghost about how to be a tin eye. And then he went into his and Luka's flat to find it absolutely tossed. But luckily, the thing he was looking for, his main set of copper mines, was still present. And they are safely ensconced elsewhere. He also left the building to find Ghost talking to 2 Connors. And he tried to silently motioned for him to go with the Connors, because they obviously know who he is.
Yeah.
Ghost tried to distract them and run away and failed. And Royce tried to follow them, but did not want to give any indication to the Connors that he was following them, so because that would have been bad. So he lost track of them.
And the flat, Royce couldn't detect anything missing, so it was tossed, but appears they did not find what they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Which is either a good or bad thing. You don't know.
And then Grace, I believe Marelyn was up to some hijinks as well.
Yes, so Marelyn used the contact that they were given by Darren, and she found them and spoke to them, and it was a soother and a soothing parlor named Kellen Way. And so Kellen Way directed Marelyn to speak to her husband, Herschel, who was the chief of police. And when she got there, she discovered that Kellen Way and Herschel are Ghost's parents.
Mm-hmm.
So she spoke to Herschel and was going to have information on Adine sent to a P.O. box. And she tried to covertly assure Herschel that she was going to try to keep Ghost safe as much as possible.
And Herschel is the one who also told you that there was definitely sliverist activity at the university still.
Yes. And I think the situation right now is we've got a bunch of pieces, and now we've got to try and get into the university medical lab so that whilst our characters do not know that that's where Luka is, we do know Rafe is a person who is involved, and so we need to go speak to him very rapidly.
Royce's impression is that Rafe is a potential ally based on the memory he recovered.
Yes.
And
has not
from
yet
what he
been
saw,
communicated.
I mean, that has been communicated.
But that has not yet been communicated to
Luka.
Luka, no.
Yeah.
The fact that Rafe is still in love with him has not made its way to Luka yet, which is
No.
stressful.
So, you all did some planning off screen. Well, by you all, I mean everybody except Matt, Luka. Did some planning off screen about how you want to tackle things. So I'm going to set the scene with Luka, and then we will cut to you all outside doing what you had planned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So night has fallen, and the mists seem to be in full force. It's believed that the mists are a good omen. For the most part, right?
Yeah.
Many sense the mists, so sure.
Yeah. However, on this night, where the medical labs of the university stand, the building is being patrolled by several constables. About a couple hours after sunset, when the crew arrives, or is arriving, to approach Rafe and hopefully find Luka, a bell goes off distantly in the city, calling for the constables.
Well, that's suspiciously convenient.
Oh no. Oh wait, yeah, that might be a good thing. That might be
Yes, but we're like,
We did discuss the possibility of a diversion.
yes,
And
isn't our diversion.
Nope.
the Connors take a moment, scrambling amongst one another, talking, trying to figure out who's going, who's staying, what the plan is. And then several depart, while a few stay behind to continue the patrol. Meanwhile, inside of the medical building, in the amphitheater, which is barely left standing, at this point the roof is caved in from the fire, and many of the rafters can be seen above, and the mist kind of coils around them. Inside the amphitheater, on the amphitheater floor, Luka is strapped above another body.
Oh crap.
Ah!
Oh god.
Oh no!
I joked about this yesterday.
You should have known better.
It's like I mean it makes sense.
And Rafe, Seth, Mirabelle, Gavon, Beatrice, and several other Sliverists begin to come out of the shadows. Adine, of course, has not yet arrived. Luka.
So I'm. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so you are strapped in position to be.
The donor.
Yeah, that's polite. I was like, well, how do I phrase this politely in the non-squeaky way? But yeah, a donor.
Yeah.
And I'm secured, but I'm conscious. Right. Is the person underneath me conscious as well?
Also, do you know who they are?
And do I recognize who they are?
Let's see. They are unconscious. Sedated is probably the best way to phrase that. Is like they're definitely out, but it was definitely like
they're gonna undergo a
procedure. Yeah.
Surgical procedure, right? Sure.
And do you recognize them? Let's see. I think I want you to roll me resources or influence.
I think influence. Because this feels like a who you know.
Yeah.
And I'd like to add my recognizing, tracking social connections.
Yes.
Trait. So that gives me 7. What's the difficulty?
2.
3 nudges.
Are you gonna save them or use them?
A 1 and 3 nudges is.
Do nudges carry? They don't carry over from the last session.
No.
Okay.
No.
We just do them. Yeah. Okay. I had 7 still left. I rolled so many rolls. I'm gonna use them. You know what?
Yeah.
There'll be more.
Yeah.
So I'll bump that up to a 2.
Okay. So you do recognize this person. They They are one of the young men that were following Beatrice around during the night of the auction. And you've definitely interacted like a bit more than that. You can't really remember his name. It's like a very basic name, like, you know, like in our equivalency, it would be like Mike or, you know,
John.
Jim or something like, yeah, like something very, very common.
Luka whispers, "I'm gonna call you Brad."
I mean, now might be a good time to just start screaming, but
I have a feeling, because I know...
And I guess...
if the roof is open that way, if you start screaming, we might hear you.
And how long has Luka been there?
So Luka is aware, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
that he's been there about like 20 minutes. Like it hasn't been long. And I mean, for the most part, it was willing. So
I think Matt and Natasha had some DMs going since yesterday, and I think there's something.
What? Really?
I think they're up to something. These two,
They're colluding.
the colluding.
So what I'll say is maybe like when they first got there, Luka made a bit of a show about kind of resisting being strapped down and like freaked out. And then if he was making a bit of noise at that point, would they have like gagged him?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
And I feel like it would have been something like Mirabelle like nudges Seth and like makes him take off his sock. Like it would not have been pleasant.
Okay. So I have Seth's sock in my mouth. Great.
It's not pleasant for Seth either, because now he's going around with one sock.
He has like one shoe in a hand, like.
Okay. So yeah, Luka is just going to he's gonna be babbling into the sock as best he can. Just to be annoying.
Excellent.
Yeah. Like I can do it away.
I'm gonna call you Brad.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you Brad.
And outside, the four of you have arrived. And for the viewers, refresh us on the plan.
The plan is for Marelyn to soothe the now remaining Connors into drowsiness so that we can sneak past them inside. And that failing, we have the necklace with the little stained glass on it, and Royce is.
I think
going
we're
to
doing
be
them
the
kind
person.
of both at the same time.
Yeah,
Grace is going to be.
So Marelyn is going to be keeping watch outside since we no longer have ghosts to do that, and I mean Royce would be the best option, but he's not going to do that. So Marelyn is going to be keeping watch, and it also sort of has a dual purpose of Marelyn is thinking it might be good for her face to not be seen by any of the Sliverists, just for the future if they need to like infiltrate the Sliverist or something again. Just to sort of have a backup of someone who they won't recognize.
And then the rest of us are going to use Royce as a alumni of the university. Oh, and Hallie as well. Yeah. Find someone who could potentially let us into the building by flashing the old sign of membership.
I mean, if there's no one at the door and it's locked, we can get in.
Yeah. We have two people that can pick a lock.
Yeah.
Of the three.
And a third who can break locks.
Somewhat better at it.
I have a stunt about this, so I'm not that bad.
Okay, So that's the plan that we will go forward with.
Mm-hmm.
So first, short beat. Marelyn,
Yes.
you have to soothe our lovely constables.
Yes.
And so remind me on the soothing, is it like a radius effect? Is it like a pick your person effect? Because I know at this point you are able to soothe like over 100 people. So what's the...
Let me pull it up and see what the book.
Oh,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think I can't find in the rules if it says specifically like how picking people out of a crowd. I can't find anything about that. So
Okay, so we'll say that it's a radial effect and that there's a chance that if you fail, the complications will be that it will affect other people within that radius.
okay.
So you are going to roll your allomancy. It is later in the evening. So the guards might be getting a little, it's nighttime. So sleep is normal. Tired is normal.
Does Marelyn have the focused emotion stunt?
Yes.
Burst of
And-
suspicion. No, not
First-
alertness.
Which is what she's wanting to...
Such a Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think, rather than, I think maybe, rather than necessarily being like, I am trying to put these people to sleep, I kind of want to soothe them to have a sense of, everything is fine, there's nothing to worry about,
Maybe hopefully they're somewhat bored.
yeah, sort of bored, because I'm trying to think, would Marelyn know that there's a chance this would, affect the people inside? Because I'm trying to also, minimize, potentially, how they would react to it. Because
Well, you don't know...
if
Who's
it accidentally... The true.
As I say, since gaining the stunt of your large radius soothing, have you tried it before? Does Marelyn know just how far she can soothe?
No. And I gave you that opportunity right at the Battle of Belton, right?
That was before I had this done. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think rather than direct sleepiness, it's more she's trying to get a sense of boredom. It's just another day. You don't really need to pay attention. Nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Anyone you see belongs here, sort of.
Yeah.
Get rid of all their suspicions and everything.
They've investigated a lot of false alarms already, and
right.
they just want to...
Even if they do see us, they're gonna, though they belong here, sort of thing.
Okay, so
Soothe their
we're gonna make
disquiet,
this a 3 difficulty.
Okay. And so could I add my focused emotion for that, or
It does sound like you're
Yes.
soothing suspicion. I'm not gonna lie.
It is suspicion.
It sounds like you're soothing suspicion.
can I add my danger sense trait because I'm trying to soothe away their sense of danger?
No, I don't think this works here for that.
Okay, fine. So that would give me up to 7 days.
Very nice.
And then I get extra nudges because I'm a 7. So.
That's a 3s. Oh, that's cool. 3s and a nudge.
Okay. So the you don't technically know, right, what the effect is that your soothing has had. But you notice that their body language kind of changes just a little bit, right? They get a little bit more like lazy in their posture, now that some of the higher ranking members have gone off to investigate, the bell in the city. They are now, well, this isn't really that big of a deal. They're essentially guarding a crime scene. Like, they're getting a little sloppy. It's fine.
Yeah. A crime scene that hasn't been active for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And a crime scene that they're also supposed to let specific people into.
Yeah, and as far as they know, it was just arson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, totally okay.
And they're all. I assume I'm still with you guys. So I'll just like let you guys know, like, this will last for 20 minutes. I'll save my other charges for like an emergency. So
Sounds good.
Hey, what's your approach? So they do have a set of guards posted at essentially each set of doors. There's about 3 sets of doors. And every so often, the guards will peel off from one of the sets of doors, do a loop, come back, retake station.
Do we want to try and sneak, or do we just want to go in like we're supposed to be there?
A little bit of both. Which is
wait till they're making their rounds, but then approach boldly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay, so you see that the side door, the 2 guards, eventually, like, they take their, step out and then begin to do a patrol around the perimeter.
I am burning my tin, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I should mention that.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, like I'm totally burning it.
I was going to say, I want to say now, I haven't brought my shotgun, but I have brought the pistol.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But I've got it, like, hidden.
Easier to conceal.
Yes, yeah.
Do you bring the sword?
I brought both swords,
You wield those.
Hey, art of Dervish dual wielding the 2 swords would be real sick.
That would be.
Is Dervish still wearing the wig?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I was assuming he was. If not, this would go a very different direction.
Oh boy, wouldn't it just?
Yeah, so like with the tin burning, I can see through the mist a bit better than everyone else.
Yep.
So like I can kind of have a better read on the guards from a distance, and also I'll be able to hear them if we don't get in before they return.
Right, their approach.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all head up to the door as the guards, move away.
Mm-hmm.
And the door is locked.
Mm-hmm.
Not for long.
So one of you may aid the other, is essentially how that's going to work. And you'll get the
I
other
will
extra time.
aid
Okay.
Hallie.
And is this physique or wits?
Ian, do you remember what we used before?
I don't. So actually, it might be better for Hallie to help. Because I was just looking at my tinker trait. Because we used my tin rating. Because I was specifically using it to do
to
it.
hear.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah. But I do have the Tinker stunned, which is while burning tin, the difficulty of all rolls to disable simple objects, such as locks, is reduced by 2.
Oh.
So,
Could you apply that stunt if you're helping her? Could you apply that stunt to her roll? Is that?
I mean, I guess what's your tin rating?
my tin rating is currently 6.
Which is the same as my wits.
And you could flavor it as like Royce listening and Hallie just the actual, like the delicate
And
finger
if
work.
this fails, all I have to do is use my pinpoint heat stunt to melt the lock, and we're in anyway. But this way's a little less noticeable.
Conspicuous.
Let's have Hallie roll, and then we'll add the die, and then
because I also do get an extra die for my specialty of being, of access control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So wits plus.
And
Plus
would you
the-
add
plus
something
another die?
like you have a lockpick set? So like. the
Oh
prop-
yeah, I do have
Ooh.
the great tools. So that is rapidly increasing the die pool. The dice pool.
Hell yeah.
So starting at wits, add a die for the specialty, add a die for the tools, add a die for Ian helping. That is 9 dice.
There you go.
Nice.
And difficulty?
2.
2.
Please smash this.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Very
Uh-huh.
easily.
Oh, and I'm banking up 3 nudges.
Hell yes.
That's the nice part of rolling lots of dice. Even it's not just to succeed. Like
You can
starting
get
to-
lots of dice. There are also nudges as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So between the two of you, Royce and Hallie, you managed to pop the lock of the door and quickly hurry inside the door.
Just like using a key.
Very simple.
We're meant to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're in the building.
Yes.
You're in the building. However,
We neatly closed the door behind us.
yes,
Good
you
shout.
neatly close the door behind you. However, Royce,
Yes.
you hear the sound of a carriage arriving.
Time to get out of sight.
No way to know what that means, but he's just gonna like, let's move.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like trying to keep an ear on that carriage, but also like, is anybody talking in this building? They're probably gonna be involved. Like, let's just like try to find.
Zero in on the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get to that talking, why don't we? So Luka being on, Mirabelle seems to be in charge of this whole circus. Beatrice at most looks like bored, and like she's there because, she's there for Rafe, and, this is her duty to show up and be around her boyfriend, her fiance.
Be there when he's stabbing someone to death,
Yeah,
you gotta be there for them for that,
Moral support.
Yeah.
Moral
I mean-
support.
He stabbed me through the heart before, so
She is there to watch her boyfriend stab his ex through the heart. This is some hardcore relationship issues.
And I mean, like, to be fair, like, you would at least think that this would bring her a little bit of joy. Like, you know, like given the external circumstances of like, you know, hey, my fiance's ex is like about to be murdered, you know, like you would think like maybe she would enjoy this. No, she just looks bored. And then and Mirabelle seems to be in control of everything. And the Hastings brothers, they are exchanging like quiet words back and forth now and then. And vaguely, you hear Rafe ask, "Are you sure there wasn't anything?"
Just I hear that, or does Royce hear that as well? I get, or maybe we'll get to
Royce,
how much Royce hears.
Roll me a 10.
I don't know. Like, particularly if they're being quiet.
Yeah.
So, like, I do think
But
this
you are
should be-
listening for voices.
I am. So I do think this should be high difficulty.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
So is it a 4 or 5 in your head?
I think it's a 5.
Okay.
It's a 5.
Okay. But I'm using my 10, which is 6.
Yes. There's definitely a chance. Like,
yeah.
That's why I'm having you roll.
The mists are out. Anything.
Where I'm currently inside, so
Yeah.
Miss ain't helping me.
Yeah.
Would you say this is information acquisition or no?
I mean, yes,
Okay.
it is. It's stuff you don't know yet.
Nope. Okay. Then that brings me to 7 dice. 5 difficulty. I have no banked nudges.
Boy. Nope.
Nope. That's a 2
But you
and
can
1
make
nudge.
1 nudge.
I have 1 nudge.
Okay. So, yes, Lucas, that's what you hear.
And sorry, could you repeat the line again? With the
Are you? It was like, are you sure there's no possibilities?
Okay. And Rafe is saying that to Sveth.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
why they didn't find anything. That's because Sveth did it.
Okay.
Because we know how competent he is.
Exactly. If someone else had searched the apartment, there might have been things missing.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm like strapped down, so my life is in other people's hands. So I'll take note of that information.
Okay. Back to the others of you. Royce, you can give me another roll. This one is going to be at a 4 difficulty rather than a 5.
But everything else applies. My 10 and information acquisition.
Not information acquisition.
Okay. So 6 dice, difficulty 4.
Hey.
4 nudges, but
But 0 pairs.
0 pairs.
Everyone else can make a well, other than Marelyn, can make a physique roll.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, so Dervish and Hallie can make a physique roll.
I would have rolled my... What have I got? Is it 7 or 8? 7. I'm going to roll my 7 die. Oh, what's the difficulty?
It was 4.
Well, I got a 5.
Oh, let's see. I'm probably not going to get this. Nope. I came close.
Almost.
This is what I expected.
Dervish, you don't hear voices. You aren't paying attention to the talking. You're paying attention to the man that is walking down the corridor.
Oop.
Who, like, because it's dark and, like, there's not much lighting here now, right? Except for, like, you know, every once in a while, the glint of the moon that comes through, like, you know, both the mist and the open roof. You see a man kind of just walk down the hall through the shadow.
Towards us, or?
Like a perpendicular.
Okay.
So, like, you just kind of notice him.
So we're like going that way, and he's
The
like
corner of your eye.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like the spooky figure in the dark. That's kind of spooky. But we are here to find Rafe. So I'm just... Okay, so it looks like people are still working here. Where's Rafe's office?
Royce knows where it is. So
Yes, you do know where it is.
It's
toward the front. It's toward the front of the building.
Okay. Is it in the direction that person was walking?
No, they were walking towards the amphitheater. I'm just gonna
Follow that.
Because, like, if Dervish points out, hey, a guy just went that way, Royce is going to want to go that way.
Okay.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
I
go that way.
I would have been like, hey, people are still working here. Someone just walked that way. That's kind of what I was kind of implying there.
It's awfully late for people to be working here, even by university standards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So perhaps we should investigate wherever this person is going.
Okay. I'll let you guys take point. I don't know my way around. I will take a
Royce
rear.
is just walking. Like,
Cool.
he doesn't necessarily wait to make sure people
On a
are
mission.
following. Yeah.
No,
So
we're definitely following.
yeah, so you step around the corner,
Mhm.
and as you step around the corner, right, the light kind of perfectly catches the person.
Mhm.
And this is Kaymyth, Brunswick.
Knew it. I knew it was going to be.
Holly puts on her brass knuckles. She's been waiting a long time for this opportunity.
And is he,
And he is just, you know, heading down the hall looking like he's about to, like, head into the amphitheater.
Mhm. And, like, he's, like, almost at the door.
I'd say like 20 feet-ish.
Okay.
Like, that's definitely his destination.
Okay. And I see this, like, as soon as I turn the corner?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, like, I'm going to hold people back.
Yep.
Like, so that...
And I mean, everyone sees it. Like, you guys are all like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we Scooby-Doo heads stacked on top of each other looking around.
Yeah.
Before moving back. Just gonna let him go in first before going down the hallway. If possible.
Okay. Yep. Outside, Marelyn, you see a carriage stop in front of the medical building, medical labs.
Okay.
And out of the carriage, it gets a small, slightly frail figure. And she crosses towards the front door. And the guards look at her. And she kind of regards them. Are you interested in trying to listen in on their conversation? Or do you think you're too far away for that?
I mean, I can try. Well, first I want to know if I recognize, like, can I figure out who this figure is?
They're wearing a very large cloak.
Okay.
But, I mean, you know, I'm guessing you could
grandma.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, they also walk with, like, a very elegant cane.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll try to listen in if I can. I don't know that I'm gonna, like, make an effort to, like, sneak up on them if I can't, but
Yeah, so roll me a physique roll. It's going to be at a 3.
Okay, I don't have very high hopes for this, but... Nope.
0, but you got a nudge.
So there's a moment of exchange. And then the guards kind of shuffle out of the way and open the door for her and let her inside.
Okay.
Just imagining this, like, the Gartham parting to let people into the castle in Dark Crystal. I don't know why that image jumped into my head, but it did.
Does she enter by herself?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
I have a question. I'm not sure if I should ask it though, because I feel like it can hurt us or maybe help us.
Ask it.
Definitely ask it.
So in the books, there's an example of someone opposing a soothing with a rioting, and they can feel, because if they're doing like opposite emotions, like they can feel like how strong the other, like they can feel, like Kelsier, when Vin tries to oppose the Lord Ruler's soothing, she's rioting and she can feel like how strong his soothing is from her, like she can feel like the resistance. So I'm just wondering if that would come into play here, or
I don't know that it's the opposite.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
the
if
thing
it's
is,
not the
is
opposite,
that
yeah.
she would be using her rioting to achieve the same effect.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is
Because she
to
also says the
remove
guards,
suspicion.
yeah, don't worry, I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah,
they'd be
I'm supposed to be
compatible.
here, you know.
Right, and calm and trustworthiness.
I'm a Delarial, right?
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be here. I'm
Wait, that's a
visiting,
Delarial?
Yeah.
Really?
The question is it easier than it should be because if they're both doing the same direction, does she
Would Marelyn all of a sudden notice, like,
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Marelyn, you would feel that, like, as if you were being helped, but in a different way than soothing.
Okay. I mean, I don't think there's really any good way of... See, this is the problem with this. I don't really have any good way of letting you guys know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We need to skip ahead to when they invent radios.
I mean, they have radios. They're just not very common yet.
They have walkie-talkies, you know.
You just need
No
spread.
earbud communicators yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Luka, into the room walks Tamuth Brunswick, who at this point gives you no heed. He's kind of stuck to the whole, I am just being very middle ground here, not getting involved as much as I can be while still being involved. And he just nods, and out of, like, the briefcase that he's carrying, he pulls, like, one of those big robes that, the hooded robes that they're all kind of wearing.
Yeah.
The cape.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And, like, puts it on and, like, flips it up.
Going to the door.
Oh, yeah,
As soon as, he's through the door, like, Royce is gonna, like, try to, like, go.
As you go, I'm like going to Hallie. I'm like, what's through there? Do you know?
I don't know. Do I know? I probably haven't actually spent much, if any, time in this building.
Cool. I'm gonna be like, Royce, where are we going?
Royce and
way.
Luka did get a tour of the building.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Royce should
I
know
know
what's
it's
in
the
there.
amphitheater. Is there a sign over the door that says amphitheater?
Yeah,
I
so
feel
this leads into the main floor of the amphitheater,
Okay,
like so the
so-
bottom floor, like so more of the
So
The
in that
stage.
case, when Dervish
Rather than
asks
the
me what
top.
the room is, I'll point to the sign that says it's the amphitheater.
but this is like where the professors and stuff would be,
Okay.
rather than like in the seating.
Yeah.
And I assume
Surgical
is there
amphitheater. This is not good.
is there a window in the door or no? But like I didn't think so, but I'm like it could be.
I'm assuming though that Royce can hear Luka's.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going up to that door and putting my ear against it. Like.
Oh yeah,
immediately,
absolutely.
like-
At that point, you can like hear you could hear Mirabelle like kind of vaguely talking to Beatrice, being like, "Where is she? Like, normally she's not this late." And then,
Oh dear.
you know, Rafe and Sveth talking about, their board game the night before and the vintage of a recent scotch or, recent alcohol that they have been enjoying.
Royce puts his hand on the handle of the door.
And Hallie's ready to burst in right behind him, so there are no voices of reason here.
Yeah, it's just like, but like you can like, Royce's composure is a little fractured at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He's very uncertain of what to do right now.
Royce, talk to us. What are you hearing?
Well, Luka's in there. He's gagged. But Rafe and Sveth are there. Beatrice and Mirabelle are there.
There's definitely other people by like the way like feet shuffle. Like it's easy to know that you're outnumbered.
I have only got 4 shots here. That's a lot of people. Do you know these people?
Yes. Not well, but
We've got the necklace. Could you say you're part of the group?
I think that's our only option. But I think you two should stay out here.
Okay.
Because your identities are less easy to sell.
I'm gonna look at Hallie and just be like,
She kind of shrugs.
Hallie,
Yeah.
roll me a wits.
Uh,
I'm not giving this to Royce at the moment because Royce is a little unstable
Yep.
and not thinking clearly.
well, I got a pair of 4s.
Okay, that's great. I didn't give you a challenge, that's fine, but 4s are great. Yeah. Hallie knows that they would be able to get up to a good vantage point by going up to the top of the amphitheater, and probably still be unable to they would still be able to not attract a lot of attention by going up there.
No, she'll put that. These amphitheaters, they usually have an upper viewing level. We can probably get up there and get a good look at what's going on without them knowing that we're there.
okay. Royce, give us 40 seconds and then go in. Right. Hallie, let's go.
All right. Wish we had another gun.
Yeah.
Could have brought Ghost.
No, he's otherwise occupied with family dinner at the moment.
But
I
if
mean,
we
worst case scenario, how many
Bedtime.
how many hate charges would it take for me to actually set the building on fire again? If we have to drive them out with a fire, or at least them thinking there's a fire by me throwing a wave of heat out.
I mean, it's very feasible. You're up to over half, right?
I am sitting at 2/3.
Yeah, so it's definitely feasible with what you have.
Cool.
Yeah.
For
So we have
plans.
we have a potential terrible plan
Plan C.
that we can at least use to make them evacuate. If I can at least trick them into thinking there's a fire, they will run like the scared little bunny rabbits they are.
Yep. I'm just imagining Hallie is just saying this to Dervish as we sneak our way up to one of the upper levels.
Probably. or more quietly, but yes.
Yes, yeah. It's a great plan. C. Yeah.
You should not leave the planning to these two.
No, because every time they're just together alone, it ends up in fire.
Yeah, fire happens.
That's really how that goes. So the 40 seconds, minute, has about passed. And Royce, you go to open up the door.
Do I hear anybody coming up the hallway behind me?
Yes! Just as you're about to do that.
I look at, when I hear her approach, like I do turn and look at her as if I'm waiting for her.
Yes, and Aideen Ilariel in a very nice black cape. Pauses, regards
Lady
you,
Ilariel.
and says,
And I do have like the necklace hanging in full view.
Royce Hadriel.
At your service.
Roll me influence.
Okay, I have an influence of 3.
It's not terrible.
Can I add my feature, which is sharply dressed? Like I look good.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can add the necklace, right?
As a prop.
Getting
What's the difficulty?
3.
Okay. 5 dice.
3.
Difficulty 3.
Doable.
I have 5 nudges
Okay.
banked.
Don't
Okay.
even need
I got
them.
4s.
And you didn't need them.
Hey.
I hold out my arm for her to take, like as she approaches.
This is just like perfect because she will think he's with them, they will think he's with her, and
She says, and before she takes your arm, she says, and tell me, how long has this been going on?
Well, I come from an old family. A traditional family. Though I don't think we run in the same circles most times. The left hand doesn't always know what the right hand is doing, after all.
Unfortunately, that tends to be true. And she accepts your arm
I open the door.
and lets you lead her inside.
smooth.
At which point, Luka, you see your grandmother walk in on Royce's arm.
This doesn't
Luka-
look bad at all.
Immediately stops babbling. Yeah, he's gonna be very quiet and looks at his grandmother and also makes eye contact with Royce and tries to the eye contact where you're trying to read someone's mind.
Royce
try to,
doesn't look at Luka.
Oh.
Ooh,
He makes eye contact with Rafe.
interesting. Does Adine make eye contact with Luka when he looks up?
It's a very it's not necessarily disappointed, but it's when as a parent, when a child gets into something that you knew they were going to get into and you should have known better, that kind of expression where she's like regarding you as like, I should have, done something about this earlier, and now he's in a mess and I have to clean it up kind of expression.
While she's looking, Luka's going to mirror back to her, and he's going to do the expression of, my dad said he was going to take me to the park, and I was pretty sure he wasn't, but it seemed like he might take me to the park this time, and then he canceled last minute. And just the kind of like the disappointment, but like a resigned disappointment.
Okay. Okay. And she looks over to Rafe and then to Shuravf and then to Mirabelle, and she says, so which one of you is responsible for this evening's event? And Mirabelle is bold enough to step forward and be like, well, we all know that you had Luka tested by Shuravf, and that he has no potential to help us. So why are you continuing to indulge your fantasies at this point? And Aideen looks at her, considering more even keel, and he says, I believe you've forgotten who is in charge. And Mirabelle goes, plenty of people think they're in charge, but really it's everyone else running around doing their bidding until someone decides differently. And Mirabelle says, since we all know that Luka won't help us and is at this point a liability, and that he burns Electrum, he might as well be used to benefit rather than harm.
Two questions. One, I'm looking at Rafe. I'm making eye contact with Rafe. What's Rafe's vibe, basically? and in general, what were people's reactions when they saw me come into the room? Or are they preoccupied with her?
So there was a lot of preoccupation with, this tensity that was going to happen, right? It was like everyone was like this little bubble of anticipation, and then she comes in, and then it was like, wait, what's he doing here kind of deal, right? Like it wasn't like dun dun dun,
yeah,
right? Like they're paying attention to something else. Rafe, however, is very much so focused, not necessarily focused on you, but you can tell that his focus is split, that he's thinking. And you can also tell that he is biding his time.
And I assume that we are in a place where we can see and hear everything that's going on
at
now.
this point, yes.
Cool.
Is there glass in that amphitheater that separates us from them? Okay, there's no glass. And how high up are we?
being
Pythagorean
generous,
theorem.
like 100 what?
Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah,
like how far?
I mean,
I don't imagine it's more than a single story, but
yeah,
it may
like
not be
I
even
mean,
quite
it's
a full
really,
story.
it's probably like a story and a half, right? So if a story's like about 12 feet, right? So like it's probably like 15 feet.
Cool.
Because
That's
is
an
it
awful
like
long way to potentially jump.
there's an amphitheater with like tiered seating,
Right.
and then they're like a little above?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're
that
like
there's-
where you would come in on the tiered seating, right?
I would think they would start it
There's like a bit of like
lower.
little balcony.
They would start it as low as possible to get as many people in to get as good a view as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you seen like the older
Like the
Like
super
the
old
older
style where it's
surgical-
really steep.
so like there's steep sides and then it like goes out into like
Seating.
the amphitheater seating. And then so it's like you guys are up here and it's not that you couldn't come down, right? But, like,
Okay.
it's
So
like
we
they're
get
down in
closer
this-
to where, like, the actual jump from the lowest spot down to the bottom, down into the actual surgical
Yeah.
theater isn't terribly far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And
luckily,
it's like
you're with
and this
someone
part
with the
you could
massive
like
jump
there is
feet.
actually yeah. And there are like actual entry points where you can like walk down into there, but it is like it's just steep. Right?
Okay.
Like the stair angle changes to where it's more
All right.
like
And is there anything loose up in the amphitheater? Like are the
Agree.
seats bolted into place? Or
I mean, the seats are technically bolted into place, but there's been a fire, so it's like
all right, as we listen, I'm gonna quietly unbolt a couple of the seats.
I'm going to turn to Hallie and be like, okay, do you want to take the gun? Because I can make that. If I don't like whatever's happening here, Dervish knows what hemology looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like what I see down there. Do you want to take the gun? And then
Sure.
you can
I'll
start
take the
shooting,
gun.
and I can start jumping. If-
Also,
yeah,
when you're ready to jump, before you jump,
yeah.
you throw these two chairs at whoever you think looks the most dangerous at the time.
Yeah, I'm not liking the look of that guy, and I point at Zeth. I'm like, I don't like the look of that guy. He looks like trouble. So I'm gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
If anyone draws a weapon, they become your first target.
Well, definitely.
yeah, like if everyone is like mostly preoccupied with Adine, but like Rafe has his attention split, like I do give like a discreet nod to him.
he makes no motion.
But I'm signaling to him
I know.
in some
He's-
way.
He is not in any way.
I'm giving him like, what does that mean?
The old Royce eyebrows.
And Adine says, "Is there anyone who shares Mirabelle's sentiments?" And there's some, shuffling and low murmurs and, no one quite ready to cop to it. And Royce,
Yes.
I need you to resist her rioting.
Ooh.
What kind of role is that? I don't know.
That's what I'm searching here.
I think, is it wits?
I believe it's wits, yes, because it's It's an attack on willpower, usually, I think. If it's like a contest.
Yes. Yeah, that seems right. So you'll need to roll wits.
Okay.
And she will be rolling.
So my wits is 5. My personality is cool and collected. I feel like I usually have a good handle on my emotions. I don't let things bubble up to the surface. Does that help me with this?
Yes.
Okay.
And is Luka rolling wits as well?
Yes.
Are Dervish and Hallie also rolling wits?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
She doesn't know we're here, so she's not targeting us.
Yeah. And
So
yeah.
I'll
So it's
roll.
also going to be a question of what motions are she rioting too?
Yeah.
Because a rider can riot emotions, but they can't direct them at a specific target.
And Luka has wits of 4.
Oh. Okay.
Is the history not loading?
No, it's there. So Luka got 0 and 2 nudges. Adine got 1 and 3 nudges.
Oh, okay.
I got 1 and 1 nudge.
Did you guys all roll at the same time?
I want to bump that up to 2. Spend 3 of my nudges.
Okay.
And Adine, has 3.
You both feel very, very, very subtly your frustration towards her broil, bringing it
Royce
to a boil.
does shift a little in reaction to that, like hit his arm in her arm, but otherwise doesn't do anything.
And Kaymyth,
The darling idiot he is.
Yes. He steps forward and he says, can we just move this along? Perhaps I have a busy morning and, well, this is all very entertaining. I'd prefer not to have to lose any more sleep over this.
In reaction to that, Royce is going to say a thing. While Luka may not serve a purpose for your faction, he serves a purpose for mine. So, I'd rather him not see his end this evening.
Adine directs her attention then to Seth. And she says, Seth, dearest, what do you think? And he just looks at Mirabelle, looks back at Adine, and looks very uncomfortable. And then he says, I think that he will never help us with our goals. And if that is the deciding factor, the decision has been made. If he is useful elsewhere, still alive, and potentially can be controlled, that's another thing altogether. And he, looks at Mirabelle like, don't hate me.
Was that the right answer?
My attention is on Mirabelle now.
And
I give a slight smile.
And Mirabelle's like scowling at this point. And a few others from the crowd step forward and say, one of them says, Adine, it's not Lady Lariel, it's not that we it's not that we do not trust your leadership. It's that we fear you have a blind spot.
I look at Hallie and I go, I don't like where this is going.
I think there's a contradiction in what you just said. If you trust in her leadership, then you should trust that she is aware of any blind spots that she has and has acted accordingly.
Well said, Royce, she says. At that point, Rafe steps forward, and he says, and perhaps if he has no immediate use, a tool that is not useful can be made useful.
Indeed. Elsewhere.
And Rafe kind of looks at Royce and is like, what is it you are proposing?
God.
It's all right. I'm ready to back you up with chairs. You're good.
Yeah. I would like to make a roll against Adine based off of like her behavior and actions so far. I want to get a read on how she really feels about Luka. Like, which it like the whole thing is he a weak point for her, or is she totally dedicated to sliverism?
Which is
like
something she's intentionally keeping really mum right now.
Yeah. Which, like, can I use, like, her, like, if she is, like, she's fond of Luka. Can I use that in a way to, like, I'm showing, like, I'm trying to get him out of here. Like, will she go along with a bluff? Just, like, read, like, what do I get from her? Which may not be super explicit, but I'm looking nonetheless.
Okay. Roll me wits. Of 4.
Okay, +1 because I have lie detector and I am burning 10.
Okay.
So, 5 dice. I have 3 banked. 3 nudges banked.
Go on, Royce. Oh, that's a lot of ones. Yeah.
You have no idea how she's feeling. And you guess that that's pretty much everyone else in the room.
Yeah. Okay. That's, like, it's not going to change what I'm going to do, which might be bad. When Rafe asks the questions, there is, like, I kind of have an affect of annoyance at the question of that is a matter to be discussed between my superiors and Lady Alariel.
There is a murmur that runs through the following.
Yeah.
At this point.
I will follow up as like, she has shown herself to be a trustworthy ally. The rest of you, well, haven't made a name for yourselves yet.
Aideen looks at Royce.
Mm-hmm.
Then she says, that is a conversation we will have. However, it will not satisfy what is happening here tonight.
Is that to me or to the rest of them?
To you. I feel... And I feel if you look closely at this situation, you would understand that it's come to a boiling point. And they are requesting some sort of answer.
That mean? I don't know what that means.
We can't put it off for today. We need to argue for Royce's survival now and not say, oh, well, we can decide on it later.
Yeah.
You mean Luka's survival?
Lucas, yeah, sorry.
Luka's survival.
Yeah, she's essentially saying,
put up or shut up?
Yep.
Yeah, make either explain yourself now and what you want and what your position is, or you are not in your territory.
Sorry, Luka, she doesn't love you. Electromistings are rare. And it's a difficult metal to practice with. You could take his ability and bestow it upon another, and they would have to start from scratch. Luka has already put in the work and is more capable than he likes to let on. And there has been some recent research done by members of, do I want to do that? Yes, I do. There's been some research done by my compatriots of certain connections between Electrum and the lost metal.
Somewhere deep inside, Ian's soul is crying.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to roll me an influence.
I don't want to roll it influence. This isn't charm by any chance?
Argue to me why it would be charm versus influence.
Because it's one die higher, and it would be really helpful to me. Genuinely, I can influence is influencing people, but charm is my force of character.
Influence is the ability to influence the wider group of people, and charm is
this is a wide group of people.
Influence is
wait,
the difference is that standing versus an attribute. So influence is the amount of actual influence that you have in society. That's your connections to people. Whereas wit is your in-person charisma.
Yeah.
No.
Charm is your in-person charisma. So that's the difference. That is why, yes, charm is probably the better attribute for this, because he is trying to convince them rather than pulling on the connections that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason that I said it actually could be influence is because your influence is low and you're trying to pull on connections that you do not have.
Yes. Yeah. He's trying to imply.
No, I don't have his connection. Yeah.
That was my
He's
bluffing.
relying on a fake connection.
He is 100%. Well, he's not bluffing in that he has backup. He's just not telling the truth as to what that backup is.
Yeah.
I'll let you go with charm.
Okay. And then cool and collected. I'm not sweating. Like, I'm like, very, like, I'm meeting them. I'm like, yo, like, I'm in the right here. Like,
yeah.
Also, I think you mean Royce is not sweating, Ian, because you definitely.
Absolutely. Royce is not sweating. Ian is freaking out. So I can't hear you at the moment. So, okay. Okay, so that is charm +1. What's the difficulty? 3. Okay. Breathe.
Hey. Aiden goes, that is true. And then she says, perhaps I have to make something very clear. And she looks to Svet, and she says, if you would please move my grandson to the other position.
Oh my god!
Make sure Mirabelle is strapped in his previous location.
Oh my god!
Well then.
What is Mirabelle? Mirabelle's something. I've written down something.
Mirabelle's a riot.
She's a seeker.
Mirabelle's a seeker.
I mean, Elementic bonds would be very helpful to us. I'm not gonna lie, it would be very helpful.
It would be.
I love how you already.
Now we're all four. We're like, I like this AD lady.
I'm the person I am. I'm sorry.
Luka bad, but seeking useful.
Seeking good.
I mean, like, Luka's gonna survive. Like,
there was when she said that, I was thinking, like, did Matt say how many like advancements he had saved up? Did they like talk about this and plan for Matt to get spikes in their secret Cosmos?
I'm like, I'm gonna look at Luka. I'm doing a vibe check on Luka.
Does Luka want this to happen the other way around?
I mean, I assume he doesn't want to die. Is he okay with getting a spike?
Does Luka know what's
happening?
I mean, Rafe would have explained
how it works.
So he knows what's happening when he's switching positions. Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
And he would also know Mirabelle's skill set at this point.
So there might still be some dissent amongst the ranks here.
Yeah, does Mirabelle try to make a
very
break for
cleally? Yeah, there is dissent happening.
This
whole
I'm
evening.
just saying, this is the moment. So there's that. I'm letting you all take that. This is like that split-second moment she's announced this. You guys are exchanging the glance of vibe check.
So
there is also the question of, do they know what they're doing well enough to be able to do it correctly and not accidentally kill Luka anyway?
I think they do.
Luka is... Luka, I will say, appears scared. His eyes are wide, and they are darting to Adine, to Mirabelle, to you, to Rafe. So he's just kind of like
panicking,
tracking what's going on. But I feel like that would be the kind of dominant thing right now.
I don't know what to do.
What's Svet doing?
Svet
Yeah.
pauses. And I would like Luka and Royce to roll me wits. And I will do Adine's roll.
Nice.
Is this just straight wits?
It's to resist her rioting.
Okay.
Okay.
And she's rioting compliance.
Okay.
So Adine got 4.
A lot of twos.
Luka. Luka got 2.
I don't feel like calm and collected helps against compliance.
No.
It almost
It's the opposite.
Almost
Yeah.
like
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 5.
That's 0.
Yeah.
Got a nudge, and yeah, and like Royce, I think is visibly like a little woozy from that.
And Svet moves. He grabs Mirabelle and starts moving her too.
I look at Hallie and I'm like, what do we do?
I mean, without Hallie is reluctant to do anything until she is certain that it isn't going to put Royce and Luka in more danger than they are now. It's like she's doing a constant danger check of right now they are safer if we keep ourselves hidden. The minute that becomes not true, then we do something.
Yeah, okay.
And a few other people step forward and help to make the switch out. Outside.
Wait, I thought that Svet just tried. Did he tried to get Mirabelle out, or was he actually trying to?
No, he's
complying.
helping.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
complying.
He's
All
following
right.
orders.
Yeah.
So he is following orders, but she was kind of mean to him anyway, so that might not have been.
But it made me laugh that
Barely.
Natasha rolled for Svet's wits, and he only has 3 dice. He only has a wits of 3.
Not the brightest bulb.
No.
Fine.
It wasn't surprising when I saw the number of dice for Spectral.
No.
Outside,
Yes.
Marelyn notices that her soothing is beginning to wear off.
Yes. I don't think this is unexpected, so.
Yeah, it's about time. So I'm letting you know.
Okay.
You also notice that someone on horseback is riding up to the medical labs.
Maybe we should have put a system in place for us to contact you in time.
Nope, didn't think of that.
Don't know that there's anything we really could have done.
We trust Marelyn's judgment.
We all get hemolytic spikes, and we have Harmony do walkie-talkie for us.
There you go. Easy done.
I like that. That's the solution.
There you go.
I feel like Harmony might have something to say about that.
I have other things to do.
My current plan is if it
he can
gets
multitask.
really, really bad to attempt to soothe the Dervish everything except the need to leave. I don't know if that'll work, but that's my plan.
Just all other emotions.
I suddenly want to leave. Yeah.
Just the flight emotion is the only one left. Okay, so back inside. The positions have been flipped. Unless Luka is making a big... Are you really struggling, Luka, or are you
Who?
compliance has been rolled, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you a...
Yeah, so compliance and taking that, and who is doing the moving on Luka specifically? Because you said a couple people kind of Sveth grabs Mirabelle, and then a couple others step forward to help. So who?
I feel like Mirabelle's the most dangerous person in there too.
Yvonne and Rafe.
Okay.
Beatrice still just looks bored.
Of course she does.
She's the worst.
She's the worst. Fucking bitches.
Royce
100% don't regret
It's like,
puking.
whether or not out of character we know that they know what they're doing, I feel like in character we would at least have some concerns of, even if they're not trying to kill Luka anymore, do we trust them to actually do this correctly and not kill him?
So I translated the plate.
You know how to do it.
I know how
they don't. They never got the plate.
I know.
However,
they don't have that information.
So, I know how hemalurgy works.
Yeah.
I know where the bind point for allomantic bronze is, which is in the ear.
I mean, there are multiple bind points.
Does Royce know that Mirabelle?
Oh, do I?
Is a seeker.
Mm-hmm.
You know she's an allomancer.
I don't know.
I don't think you would.
Can I be cheeky and because I think this is in character. So, because Royce does have hemalurgy knowledge.
Yep.
That he would very nonchalantly ask Lady Ilariel, what metal does Mirabelle burn?
He's a seeker.
Oh.
And while
that certainly makes things easier. The bind point is in the ear.
And she looks at you with interest.
She gave way anyway.
And Luka, I think, is just going to be vibe checking. So he's compliant, so he's scared, but he's more inclined to go with the flow. So he's going to kind of be looking to Rafe and taking his lead on, should I make a break for it now, or should I let this play out?
Rafe is just doing what he's told.
Were they setting it up to hit the right bind point, or are they suddenly changing now that Royce has given them information?
Because
our suspicion is they had other they were missing some things.
Yeah.
But.
Yes, they are indeed altering.
Okay, now see, that tags Hallie is, these people don't know what the rust they're doing. And if they're having to take hints off of Royce, there's still a good chance they're going to screw this up and kill Luka.
Oh, God. I mean, Royce did fail that wits roll. So, he is feeling compliant.
Yeah.
And he also wants to make sure Luka doesn't die.
Yeah.
Which I think dovetail quite nicely right now.
Yeah, I think Luka's... So, with Rafe just kind of going with it, and Luka failing the role, so he's feeling compliant, he will follow Rafe's lead and also go with it. But
I'm sorry, Matt, for
he's like he's like tense though. Like his whole body is like.
Royce.
Mhm.
Roll me a wits.
What emotion is this? Does
Helpful.
yeah, that
You're not feeling helpful.
DM rolled a 3,
Well-
and Royce rolled a 0.
Oh wait, no,
No,
that's,
he is.
No, I
He
got the
is
roll
feeling
mixed
helpful.
up.
He is feeling
He
helpful.
I'm
is
feeling
very
very
helpful.
helpful. And like I think if Luka is paying attention, like you do see like him go like a little woozy, and like he will.
I don't think
He will
Luka's
approach.
looking at. He's not looking at Royce right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got Hallie and Dervish watching, though. Do we notice that Royce is acting a little oddly?
I'm watching Mirabelle I'm watching Sveth and Rafe, and I'm keeping an eye out for someone to pull out a spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like Royce will approach and like point to like where they need to hit on Luka, which is the earlobe. Like it's like you. Like once the spike is made, it should pose no threat to Luka.
And Tamuth, out of the briefcase that he has, pulls out a spike, and he offers it first to Rafe. And Aideen goes, no. And she gestures to Royce.
Oh God!
Oh no!
I can't throw a chair at Royce!
Did none of you see
God.
this coming?
Oh,
No.
one at Aideen.
I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna want Royce to do it.
Oh God!
Oh,
Because
God.
it's, like-
Harmony.
Don't
and
throw
like to blow like
a
if
chair.
you
I mean,
refuse this, you blow your
Granted,
cover.
they just upped the chances of this working. However,
I really want to throw a chair at
I do
Smooth.
think like shakes voice enough to like turn and look back at her.
And she smiles.
so okay, so
Um.
here's
Okay. I don't believe I have the strength required, physically at least. My strengths lie elsewhere.
Oh, I want to talk to the players so bad, but I don't want to. I don't want to metagame this. I want to throw a chair at Smooth so bad.
Oh God.
I mean, here's the thing. So
Okay, I'm with Hallie.
Hallie is
Yeah.
Hallie is pretty laser focused on Royce right now, and here's the thing: Hallie cares about Royce.
Yeah.
She also knows that on whatever level, Royce cares about Luka, even if that means that she has zero chance. It doesn't matter because Royce having to be the one to stab Luka is gonna mess with him really badly. And I don't think she's gonna let that happen.
I'm gonna talk to
I mean,
Hallie.
I'm not.
And he also has to stab
Yeah, yes.
through.
I'm giving him an ear piercing. Like,
Yeah.
But you're. But you're.
How big is that spike? I think it's bigger than an earring.
I mean, it's long.
Yeah.
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 Dervish is gonna turn around to Hallie and be like, "Dude, what are we doing? Are we letting this happen?"
And she's just like,
Aiden says, very well, you can hold it and... Sorry. Very well, you can hold it and Rafe will drive it in.
Hallie,
Right.
I don't like what's
Out
happening
of
here.
character.
Yeah.
Do you want us to jump in at this point? Because
I didn't want to ask the players that. I feel like that's too
but
many.
on the other hand, this is something that is going to profoundly affect Matt's
Yes.
character either way. So I
Yes.
do feel like out of character, he should have a say in how this is going to go.
Okay.
I will say, like, I don't want to say anything. I want it to be up to you guys.
God.
But by saying that,
I hate you.
by saying
I hate
that,
you.
But
by
saying that,
saying
you're
that, I
telling
am
me
saying,
you're okay with either way it goes.
yeah, I'm interested
Okay.
to see how it plays out. Like
I throw a chair at
Me,
Smooth.
the
I'm doing
player-
it. I'm throwing the chair.
me, the player, will be okay no matter how it goes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think at this point, Hallie is not okay with Royce having to hold the spike. She's kind of not okay with murdering this random woman.
Do it.
Yep.
Give
Like
him a
that. Aim for it, Dean!
No, I'm throwing. I assuming the spike is still in Tamuth's hand, handing it to Royce and throwing a chair at Tamuth.
There's two chairs.
Yeah, one of them's going to Tamuth.
Okay, roll me a physiques roll.
Okay.
A random chair comes flying from the sky.
4 with 2 nudges.
Hey, perfect. You smack him with that chair. Like it just soars through the air, and no one saw this coming. I mean, it's like dark up there, right? Like it's shadowy. The only light is like down here around this like surgical table that they're dealing with. This chair soars through the air, smacks into Tamuth. Tamuth like completely eats it on the floor.
He takes some actual damage.
Yes. Oh, I mean, he's
Good.
like bleeding out his nose and like, I mean, like, clearly quite dazed. And the he is bleeding out his nose, clearly quite dazed, and the spike goes skittering across the floor.
Cool. With
And
the
everyone's attention goes up to you two.
Royce will like to yell something like, "Were you fools followed here?"
ooh.
What's
trying
the
to-
intention
Anyway,
behind that?
as everyone's eyes come up, I guess there's Hallie with the gun saying, "Nobody move."
Like my intention there is, I don't want them to know I'm with the people up there.
Cool.
Which that seems reasonable.
Fuck. I'm then going with the other chair in hand. I'm going to jump down into the pit. I'm going to jump down and land like in the middle of what's happening.
Okay. So you come soaring in with like your iconic move.
Oh yeah.
and
That,
land in the center of everything.
yep. Next to the table. in
Of
between.
all of these people. And everyone has just kind of frozen for a moment because, I mean, well, they were told not to move. And they're a little compliant right now. And Adine has this look of thoughtful annoyance on her face. And she says, "To what do I owe this interruption?"
I don't like what's happening here. And then I'm gonna kick over the table with Luka and Mirabelle strapped to it. I'm gonna kick it over, so they fall off it.
Question. This is.
You do
open-
realize they're attached to that table, right?
Yes,
Like,
I
they
know.
Might want to untie.
Like,
Okay.
And this is all like there's holes in the amphitheater. It's somewhat open air. There's been some loud crashes, bangs. Does Marelyn hear any of that?
Marelyn, make me a physique roll.
Do any of the Connors hear this?
Or the
We'll get there.
Connors. Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
3.
Wait, and you said there was a man riding up on a horse. Has anything else happened with that?
We'll get there.
Absolutely, no, that's nothing. Okay.
So
Fucking chat.
Dervish pushes over the table. And I mean, it's very uncomfortable at this point, Luka. It was uncomfortable before, let's be honest. But now it's just more uncomfortable because, you're on your side, squished, and it's not pleasant.
And I still have the sock in my mouth.
Very unpleasant. Okay. And Nadine looks at Dervish and says, "And what is it you don't like?"
These secret culty meetings, the spikes. Do you know what those spikes did in the past? And then I kind of realized what I've said and that they obviously do. And we're like, there is Connors all over the place right outside here. I'm going to be walking out with these two, and I point to Mirabelle and Luka. And
none of you are going to follow us.
And none of you are going to follow us.
She says, I see you as the brains in this duo.
Yes.
And then she looks
the
at Hallie,
observation there.
and she says, "And what is it you don't like?"
What he said. And
Marelyn. Outside.
Yes.
The man that's on the horse gets off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he approaches the other Connors. And when you get a really good look at him, you that this is Herschel Ulfin.
Okay.
We can't let Ghost Father die.
No. I thought you were about to say we can't let him see that we're there.
Mm.
Okay.
But hey, Marelyn's not it. Marelyn's the one that he told to stay away, and
She has.
And how? So there, he's talking to the Connors who are still here, right?
Yes. And he asks, well, I want you to roll me a physique check to hear what he asks.
What's the difficulty?
3. Nope.
Nope.
How many notches you got?
Not enough.
Oh no.
Do you?
And-
Oh yeah.
The 2 Connors move from the door and go over to the horse.
Herschel one of them? Who goes over to the horse?
Yeah. So they all 3 of them go over to the horse. Yeah. Sorry.
And are these all the Connors that are left?
No, so there's 2 at each door. So there's 3
Okay.
doors. So there's a total of 6 Connors, not including Herschel.
But these would be all the ones at this door.
Yes.
Okay.
Does it look like the horse is talking to them?
I think in this situation, I'm going to get a little bit closer. I'm still trying to stay out of sight for now, but if I can get closer, I will.
Okay. So you creep a little bit closer. And Herschel asks, has anyone been in or out other than who we expected? And they say, not to our knowledge, no. And yes, you did a thorough search of the perimeter and inside earlier? And they say yes. There's no one else.
Oh boy.
Oops.
Back in the amphitheater.
I'm gonna order like to Rafe, like untie them, get them out. I'm gonna threaten him with the chair.
I mean, you got Hallie up there with the gun.
Yeah.
So.
She makes a motion to Rafe, who starts slowly undoing them.
Okay.
And then she says, "And where do you think you'll go?"
Wouldn't you like to know, little lady?
He looks up at Hallie.
Hallie doesn't say anything.
I would like you to take a moment and think very carefully about whether or not I am an enemy you want.
I can tell you now, anyone who conducts this kind of business with these things, and I'll point to the spike on the floor, is an enemy of mine.
Break her with the chair. Is anybody else moving down here, or are we all pretty much frozen?
Frozen. Yep.
Good.
What progress is Rafe making on?
Very slow progress.
Other question. Am I on the side that Luka was knocked to, or the other side?
You are on the side that Luka was knocked to.
Okay.
Hallie, do you have a response to?
Get it? You're dangerous. You're the kind of person who murders people, rips off pieces of their souls, and sticks it into your friends. You're clearly not a very nice person, or anyone that I want to associate with at all.
Very well. You may take Luka. You will leave the woman.
Are you still going to kill her?
Would you really like to know?
I don't ask questions if I don't want to hear the answers.
Yeah, I'm happy to take the lad, and I'm going to take the briefcase with the spikes in it, and I'm going to take that one on there on the floor, and then we'll be making our way out.
And Aideen just says, I cannot have dissenters among my people.
Then she's going to leave.
And Aideen is about to say something else when Marelyn, you see what the Connors are pulling out of their packs are Molotov cocktails.
Now might be a good time to intervene.
They're trying. Oh God. These are unethical constables. This is not what they're supposed to be doing.
I mean, if we hadn't been interfering, they would have quite cheerfully burned Luka alive along with everyone else, so I'm glad we're still here.
They didn't know he was there.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And they clearly didn't actually know what was going on. Otherwise, they'd be hopefully staging a rescue and not a firebombing.
I think I am going to have some more brass.
Really, thank you. Anyway.
I'm trying to think. Do I want to try to like talk this out first, or just go straight to like trying to soothe them?
Oh, and Marelyn doesn't know that Luke is in there. She just knows that the team is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows there's probably a pretty good chance that Luka was in there.
How much does she care about the crew?
I mean, no, I want to stop this. I just don't know if I want to
Expose yourself.
immediately expose myself when trying to stop this, or if I...
You do have a contact with Herschel already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He told you not to be here, but you have an explanation for that.
Does she, though?
Rescue operation.
I think I will. I think I'm going to start by trying to soothe these 3 Connors with the Molotov cocktails.
Okay.
And so,
What are you soothing away?
probably their like urgency, I guess.
That's what I was thinking.
They,
Thank you.
I mean, maybe whatever they're doing doesn't have to be done right now. So since it's only 3, I don't have to use my crowd for this. I could just use my regular brass.
But also, I'm remembering that one of these guys is married to a Susan.
Yeah, I know. But so just rolling brass for this.
Yes, and you are going to roll. It's going to be, so there's 2 different ratings. There's one for Herschel and there's one for the other 2 guys. Herschel's is 4. The other 2 guys is 2.
So do I do 2 separate rolls or?
No, just one roll.
Okay.
Because you're soothing them all at once, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get the 2 guys.
I have 4 nudges banked. I get 1 plus another 2 since I'm a servant. So that's 7 nudges. I'm gonna bump that up to 4.
Okay, very well.
Nice.
I'm gonna have 1 nudge.
So they do seem to slow and take their time and begin to chat even.
Okay.
Positive.
Inside, Aideen, Aideen takes a moment to consider the situation.
Hopefully while Rafe is still working on untying.
Yes. Which Luka is almost untied. And
Is the gag still there?
As soon as your wrist is free, you can probably pull it out. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, at
Free
this point, you
Luka's
can
mouth.
take it out of your, yeah.
Okay, so Luka's got the
Freedom of
go.
speech back, yes.
freedom of speech. There we go.
Yay.
And Aideen nods and says, "Then it is my decision that this meeting is concluded.
You can say that again.
Your decision. That's cute.
And she has at this point taken to just completely ignoring everything around her except for Royce, who she looks to. And she asks, "Are you still staying with my grandson?"
Currently.
See that doesn't change.
As you wish.
And she turns and just starts to leave.
Oh, man. Is Luka untied?
Yes, at this point, yes.
Yes, awesome.
What about Mirabelle?
No. At this point, Rafe is now working on her bindings after he's helped Luka up.
All right, I'm going to pick up the suitcase that Tamuth had and the spike on the floor. I'm like, come on, kid, let's get out of here.
We're taking her too.
Are we? Okay. You want to hurry up with her? I indicate with the chair.
Does Luka say anything about
This
that?
feels. Oh, do I want to do this?
Now you have to make tough decisions.
Yeah.
Your turn.
So Grandma has left.
She's
Rafe
leaving. She's
is
turning
leaving. She's turning to leave.
Well, Hallie will look at Luka. It's like, do you want me to let her leave?
So she's leaving. Rafe is helping me up.
And
then
Hallie has just asked you if you want her to let Aideen leave.
To be fair, Hallie is still...
Yeah.
So be shouting it from one side of the room to the other.
Upstairs.
Okay.
Okay. As I want to do a couple things, if that's okay. Do I really want to? Yeah, I want to do this. As Rafe is helping Luka up, can Luka try to swipe the tie pin?
Yes. Yes, you may. Give me a physique roll.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Ambo, what?
And as he does,
Rafe has a really nice ascot pin that he always wears.
Okay.
and as he does, he's kind of gonna have a moment where he gives like a meaningful look at Royce and says, like, thank you. And he like smiles a bit. And I'd like to add my inviting smile to this role as like a distraction to kind of mask the movement.
Kind of pull
And
him
I
in by
feel
the
like
front of his shirt.
since-
Thank you.
Yeah, like he's like, and my leg is still like,
Ouchie.
Yeah.
you know, so
Is it a
leaning
smile
on
for
him.
Royce or is it for Rafe?
For Rafe.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
it's
okay.
Rafe who's helping.
You had
You
said
did say
Royce.
Royce.
Oh, I did?
I was
Okay,
very
sorry.
confused.
We were
Like,
all
why
like,
am I?
wait, what?
Confusing character
I
name.
genuinely thought it was going to be like he smiles at Royce and says thank you and then does something like stupid and betrays the crew. I was like,
Sorry.
or like puts himself in danger or something.
Luka stands slowly up, and as he's leaning on Rafe for balance with his leg, he smiles and says, thank you. Like a very sweet smile, and he's going to try to swipe the tie pin.
Okay.
So I get 3 dice, I think. Well, I get 2 for physique. One for the inviting smile, and can I add a dice for my tragedy to this?
Yes.
Okay, that's 4. And what's the difficulty?
2.
Okay.
He's distracted.
Yeah.
No.
But I think you've got a buttload of nudges.
I have 2 nudges banked,
Yes!
Aha!
and I just got 1 more, so I
rolled a
bump
1.
that up to a 2.
Hell
Okay,
yes.
so you swipe his ascot pin.
Okay. And then I'm up, and I hear Hallie's question. Should she let her go? And I'll say, I think we've all had enough messiness for today.
All right.
Let's...
And
Oh.
at that point, so Hallie won't shoot. and it's probably a good thing Aideen didn't try and riot either, because had Hallie resisted that riot, her response would have been to shoot her.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Luka?
I guess he'll kind of hobble over to Dervish.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. Aideen leaves. And as she is about to, completely exit the room, she looks back and she says, Luka, I will expect you for tea.
Wouldn't miss it.
And she departs. Everyone else just kind of looks around, seeming very confused as to what just happened.
I will indicate to the door, on the other side that, Aideen left, and be points Luka towards that. And then when Mirabelle's free, I'll do the same as well.
Okay.
When Luka starts, walking over, oh, wait, no, never mind. He'll just walk over. Yeah.
Hallie will wait for them all to clear out that door before she goes out the upper door and around to meet them. She's making sure that no one tries any funny business till her people are clear.
And Rafe kind of is watching Luka for a moment. Make sure that he gets out clear.
We will.
No, he doesn't say that.
Oh.
He makes sure that
Gotcha.
Luka gets out clear.
Gotcha.
And then goes over to Beatrice, who is still just looking very bored.
How is she still
And
bored?
She looks up and she says, "Oh, is it time to go now? Thank heavens."
It's unbelievable.
Wait. Oh my gosh. Is she the bubble person? Did she put up a time bubble just because she was so bored and passed the time?
Did she speed herself up so she could get this thing over with quicker?
Oh no, it'd be the other way around. She'd have to be cadmium, so she would slow herself down so everything around her would go faster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's
So she slows her, because but it was a slow bubble at the university when we saw Rafe before. Interesting.
Cool. As I leave the room, I shout out, "Never forget the night you were visited by Max Armstrong." And then I leave the room.
She rolls her eyes, then shoots Royce a look with a mild eyebrow.
And then shoots Royce.
Royce is not.
Not
Royce is paying more attention to Rafe at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that Rafe is just pretending. I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not pretending. It is. It's over.
Yeah. Royce is waiting for his crew members to leave.
At a good old-fashioned rough standoff. And I never got to punch anyone.
Oh.
I thought you would. Like, I really thought you would.
Yeah, and then Dervish had to go and hand me the gun. And I didn't get any massive emotional trauma either. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And you got to see your hated professor smashed by a chair.
That was delightful, yes.
True.
You made that possible.
Yeah.
You unbolted the chair.
You did.
As you all are leaving the building, you are shocked to find that the door is unguarded.
Shocked, but pleasantly.
Pleasantly surprised.
And also, I'm kind of subtly making sure Mirabelle doesn't try anything stupid.
She's just kind of like following along at this point.
And Luka might suggest he's like, once they're like out of the theater, he'll be like, tie her up, please.
Oh,
Is she a problem?
Yes.
Okay.
She did this, and he like gestures at his like bandaged like knee.
Is that a gunshot wound? Do you want me to shoot her in the leg to make it even?
No.
Oh,
okay. He looks at Mirabelle. I'm a kind and decent person.
And she says, notice I also haven't ran anywhere.
Well, yeah, you were about to get stabbed to death by your former friends.
Could we still like tie her hands together, please?
Yeah, sure.
Probably okay.
I rip a sleeve off and then just like tie her hands together behind her.
Just use the sleeve and not a belt. It's fine.
And
he's
then
gotta hold his hands up, right?
Yeah.
And then Luka will take Beth's sock and stuff it in her mouth.
Karma.
I figure at the very least we can roll her for some information.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll like score her out like by holding her by the tied together arms.
And as you get outside, you notice the constables have all kind of gathered together, and then are starting to spread out with the Molotov cocktails and have begun hucking them at the building.
Any sign of Adine or the carriage?
I'll kind of look at I'll look at Dervish and go, man, we're a terrible influence on the authorities.
Did I see Adine leave?
You did. But she did not. So the carriage is still there. Adine is gone.
Right.
Okay.
So we walk out and just see the Connors with a bunch of Molotov cocktails.
Yes, Connors are burning the building.
Go.
Okay.
Adine is gone. She left out a different exit.
And so I see my crew leave, so I'm not going to interfere with the Connors at this point.
No.
Because the people I care about are out.
I'll mutter to Mirabelle, looks like this is their double lucky day.
Actually, I have an idea, if you could trust me.
Except Royce is still inside.
Marelyn said what she said.
Marelyn said what she said.
Oh, no, I genuinely forgot that Royce was still in charge.
She said, wait.
Everyone she cares about is out. So
she said,
I'm just confused. Wait, I'm confused about where.
I'm not with them.
That you're not with them. Okay, then I
No,
would
I'm still
interfere.
in the amphitheater.
Although this is an interesting point. She said, if I see my whole crew returning, does she consider Royce part of the crew?
Yeah, like
Yes.
No, yeah. You would notice Royce is missing.
Okay, so I think, do I see Herschel? Is Herschel still here?
Yeah. But he's packing up the horse.
I'll walk up to Herschel and just say, so I guess
you also see that Luka is with us when we leave, so you know we just rescued him.
Okay, yeah, but I don't see
Royce.
see Royce.
Yeah.
No, but that gives you a reasonable cover story of why we were in there.
Yeah. And have they started throwing the cocktails yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll walk up. Okay, so I have to choose, do I go up to you guys? I see Mirabelle with them probably, but I don't see Royce. Or do I go and interfere? But they've already started throwing. The building is already, catching fire.
Yes.
Okay. I think in this situation, I would probably go talk to you guys. If they're already throwing the cocktails. Mirabelle is, I don't think I can avoid blowing my cover to Mirabelle at this point. I think I just have to.
Yeah.
She knew anyway.
Yeah. I think
quick
you go, Bruce.
Question. That you don't have to answer immediately, but I want in the back of your head. At what point does Royce smell smoke?
With his tin on.
I'll keep that in mind.
Cool. I think me and
that will
Matt,
be his cue to leave.
I think me and Matt had a very similar thought. If we're leaving and we see a group of police officers, Connors throwing Molotovs.
You don't see them yet, though.
Yeah, we don't see them, though.
Okay.
Marelyn sees them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. We'll just make our way, out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll rush over to you guys and go, where's Royce? We need to leave now.
Why? What's going on?
I believe he's leaving by a separate exit. Is that the plan? Do you guys have a plan? I'm feeling a little out of the loop.
We had an entry plan, but not really an exit plan.
The cops are here, and they're taking a page out of Dervish's book.
Ah, nice.
Oh.
And I would rather they not know we're here if we can leave before.
What exactly is happening?
They are burning this place to the ground.
Royce is still inside. And at that point, Hallie is shoving the gun at Dervish.
Yep.
And unless someone physically stops her, she's heading back in.
Dervish.
Yeah.
Maybe go with her, and I'm gonna regret this.
Here's a gun.
Frustratingly handsome blonde one. If you could get him out as well, that might be helpful.
Yeah, can do. Okay, here's a gun. Point this end at the lady. Hey, lady. Don't run away, or he will shoot you. Okay. And then I'll go running.
And then
after Hallie.
Luka's gonna hand the gun to Marelyn and say, I think I have a plan for this. Let's go deal with the cops.
Because Luka can talk his way out of anything.
They've already started throwing them, but if you think you can...
I think we're at the point of damage control now. So, we can do a little of that. Just follow my lead, and if you can work your, in the background to help, that would be helpful.
Do you want me to go with you and talk to them, or stay behind where they can't see and watch over her?
No, we need her. If you and I'm unfortunately a little, and he gestures at his leg, so I think I need you to come with me.
Okay, well, I was hoping to keep my presence here from them, but if you think this is the only way, I'll go along with it.
Yeah. Just trust me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Marelyn.
Yes.
I I need you to roll me a physique roll. Contested by Mirabelle's physique roll.
Yeah. Do I get anything for holding a gun?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Why did?
Unless you're shooting it.
I don't know. Intimidation.
She is tied up, like her hands.
Okay. Yeah.
She gets one less dice.
Cool.
Okay. Roll physique.
Oh no.
Yeah. No.
Marelyn got a 0, but Mirabelle also got a 0.
And one nudge.
Do you have any?
I have one nudged banked.
Oh no.
I have nudges banked.
Oh no.
You do.
Yeah, you left me in charge of her, and I am not strong.
Yeah.
And have less health because of my savantism.
Yeah. And
Mirabelle
now she knows Royce is involved with all of you.
Yeah.
So
does this quick calculation.
Mm-hmm.
And in last ditch Hail Mary motion, she drops into a crouch and spin kicks Marelyn's leg out from under her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No.
And then stands up and just starts to run.
Should have killed her. Should have turned her into a spike.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, Luka is gonna do what he does best. He's gonna look at Marelyn on the ground and be like, "Get out of here!" And he's gonna start, "Help! Help! She's getting away! Help! Help!" and like screaming for help.
Excellent. Roll me influence. That is an influence roll, not a charm roll.
It's so he's like I'm trying to get away so the cops are like I'm not here when the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's saying like, yeah.
Do I
This
have to
isn't
roll?
going as planned. Okay, 6 influence. One and a nudge.
The cops take their time coming over.
Good for Marelyn at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
mostly because, they were soothed into taking their time and then rioted into allyship, so they're,
Yeah.
all in this together of taking their time. And eventually they arrive at Luka's side.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Hallie and Dervish go into the building, which is slowly starting to burn.
Yep.
And Hallie's just booking it back to where the theater was.
Royce, you are starting to smell smoke because your tin is on.
Does anyone else smell smoke?
Someone goes, one of the other people in a cloak says, yeah, it smells like something's burning.
I think I will take my leave. Are your meetings usually this exciting? As on his way out, and he is walking quite quickly elsewhere.
Yeah,
And,
and
he
everyone
will
just
throw
kind of
a look
lets you
to,
leave.
I will throw a look to Rafe. I'm just and try to get across as fire happening because I want him to get out.
And Rafe has, he kind of says, "Okay, darling, we do need to go now. Apparently, there's a fire on top of everything else." And Beatrice stands and she, fluffs out her dress and she says, "I hope you have something else planned for this evening other than this whole
She's
nonsense."
terrible. She's terrible.
She has less depth than a kiddie pool.
Forget about Mirabelle. Kill her. Kill Beatrice.
If I could have figured out a way to puke on her, I would have. It's just it's not meant to be this episode. She sucks.
And Rafe, quickly makes an exit with Beatrice.
Mhm.
Dervish and Hallie,
Yeah,
I would like a spirits roll.
Oh no.
This would be fun.
Oh wait, I've been pumping that, haven't I?
God, if Royce
One
just
of you-
rolled out and you guys are running around looking for him.
One of you can aid the other, so give an extra dice.
I have 6 spirit.
I am aiding you because I only have 4.
Excellent. So I have 7 spirit. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is
Can it
2.
be contested against my spirits? I went,
No,
"Aw."
because we're on the same side in this.
Are we?
I got a 4 and a nudge. That's my first nudge of the game, the session. Cool.
Yes. So you run into Royce as he is
Excellent. Superb.
walking out.
Get out of here. There's a fire.
Yeah, we
Roy,
know.
The first
you-
thing that happens is the moment Hallie sees Royce, just like this profound relief washes over her face, and then when he says that, like, yeah, that's why we came back in. Let's get out of here.
Okay, what do I have to roll?
I need you to roll spirits.
Okay.
3.
Can I add anything? mm,
Not bad.
worse than much.
Okay.
There you
I will
go.
remember that for later.
Cool. Let's skedaddle.
Nobody sees me leave with them. Hopefully. Except Mirabelle knows.
I was gonna say I got the impression you didn't want to be seen with us, so I'm gonna be like, Hallie, we'll go that way. Royce, you know the way out that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna
Hallie
leave.
doesn't look very happy. like she would rather make sure that Royce gets out and then go for a different exit. But
It's up to you.
Like we
Are
should.
you going to split up here or split up when you get out of the building?
I mean,
Royce would like to split up right here.
Hallie will hang back long enough to make sure Royce makes it out before she goes for an exit because she's that stupid.
Okay.
I know my way around the building. I got a tour.
Okay. Luka, the constables come rushing over
Oh no.
slowly.
Yeah. Slowly
Very
rushing.
slow rush.
Thank you for your diligence, gentlemen. I have just been through quite an ordeal. But right now, the woman responsible for it is running that way. I managed to subdue her temporarily, but in my injured state, she got the best of me. There is some weird cult thing going on. I was almost sacrificed. And her name is Mirabelle Savant. And please, she's going to escape. And I've been through so much tonight.
And they glance back at the burning building. And 2 of them start booking it after Mirabelle. One of them starts talking to you and asking, like, trying to comfort you and take care of you and, like, do the whole, like, bring you down from shock and trauma deal. And the other ones go back to deal with the fire and report to Herschel, who did not come over. Luka, is there anything other than that you wanted to do? Like, did you just want to blame it on her? Or was that the, like, intent was just blaming it on her? Because elsewise we'll skip to wherever your meeting place is.
Yeah, Luka wants to blame it on her, but I think he's assuming at some point the cops will circle back for an interview. I guess if the cops are like right now trying to ask him what happened, he'll have more to say. But if they're just comforting him, he'll just
it's more
accept
just
the
a
comfort.
comforting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
More like a bring it down and then they'll ask you questions after.
They'll
Yeah.
want to take a statement sooner or later.
yeah. He'll give them his contact info, his address, for the statement.
Yes. Where are you all? Dervish and Hallie come out. Mirabelle is now gone.
Yep. We see
Marelyn
Yep.
is also gone. Luka is talking to a Connor.
We're gonna sneak away speedily.
Okay. Where are you all meeting back up and when?
Good question.
Look, we didn't think we'd get this far in the plan.
Well, Luka doesn't know anything, so
Yeah.
he will
Just go hard.
Also amazed
Except-
that we all got out of this without any further injuries.
Yeah.
I'm amazed too, honestly.
Yeah. Luka will try to get the cops to give him a ride home.
Okay.
And we'll be like, do any of you have a blanket? Like, he's very like,
Royce's instinct was to go home as well.
Cool.
So,
Um,
but like, I assume we have a place to meet up.
yeah.
I'm assuming it would be back at that pub.
Yeah,
you were
let's
going
say
to,
that.
since-
Yeah.
If it's still open at this late of an hour.
We'd have to meet back
Yes.
tonight. Do we have to meet back tonight?
We meet up we plan to meet up back in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
late morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone returns home.
Yep.
And Hallie's like, should I go home at this
I was like, is Hallie going?
I want to
home?
talk to Hallie for a
did
second.
Marelyn check for P.O. Box?
I did want to say to Hallie, I'm like, so I'm kind of, I don't really want to go back to the brass later right now. Have you got a place for us to go?
I mean, she's literally making that face. Would it involve awkward questions from my parents?
I don't really want to get your parents involved. Okay.
The last thing I need is for my mother to decide I'm dating you.
Oh, that would be terrible. Oh, yeah.
That would be awful.
Yeah, no.
Like I would never date anyone capable of breaking me in half with one hand.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. We'll put it there. But okay. I'll let you go home to your parents. I'm gonna go home. I guess I'll have to go back to the brass ladle. Yeah. Okay. I'll be back up in the morning.
And I still don't want to answer awkward questions from my parents.
It's late enough that hopefully they're asleep, and you can be quiet enough to sneak in.
Yeah.
Okay. However, I am going to play out one scene, which is Luka and Royce
Yes.
back at their flat.
Poor Em. I'm never going to get the snap. Oh, well.
Do I beat the cops to the apartment if Luca's getting a ride there?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're catching, would you just be walking? Yes, I'd say yes, because they'd have to clean up the whole mess of the fire before they could really take him home.
Clean up the
Right.
mess that they made.
Yeah.
They didn't make that mess. None of you know.
Yeah. So Royce will get home and he will, knowing that the Connors are coming with Luka, will try to make the apartment look messy and not tossed for when they get there. It's two bachelors living alone. Who knows?
Not enough time to clean up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so the police, they do bring... the police ask Luka the questions at the site. Mostly because they have the time while others are cleaning up, right? And you have to stay there anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular you're wanting to tell them then?
We don't need to like play it out, but the like scattered Luka. This is an interesting situation because yes. So he's going to say that he was kidnapped by Mirabelle and Sveth. He's going to name drop those two specifically. He's going to say it seems to be a cult of some sort from his observations. Yeah, and he knows, like, who knows what Mirabelle's going to say when she's captured. So he's also going to say that my grandmother, Adine Ilariel, was also there. And I think she was being, taken advantage of. She's quite, old, and she has some old-fashioned beliefs. And I can only imagine that these nefarious actors were, leading her along.
Horrible grandma.
But I'm also, he'll also say, he's like, but she did seem to be involved in some very, dark things. So I'm worried both for her safety and what she might do, unless things are set straight and she realizes she was being manipulated by these, two nefarious people. So he's going to give away that she's involved, but he's going to kind of try to make it look like Sveth and Mirabelle are the movers. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Connor takes down your statement, and then you are delivered home.
And Royce is there waiting.
Yes.
With a pot of tea.
Royce, Harmony, it's good to see you. What the heck was, or what in rusts and ruin was happening back there?
I assume this is after the Connors leave.
Yeah.
Okay. That was one of the most stressful nights of my life.
You're not the only one. And I recently accidentally possibly killed a man and got shot in the knee, but I think this tops it.
To be fair, that murder was my idea. So, yeah, I know exactly how you're feeling.
Different murder.
Oh, is it? Who else did?
I'm thinking of the Muffin Man.
Yeah,
That's
the Muffin
who
Man.
I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the Muffin Man.
Thinking of the postman.
Oh, the postman too.
We don't know the postman died.
Hoping he's fine.
Oh, that postman.
He must have died.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I forgot about the
Very
postman.
true.
It's like, what postman? Okay.
But just think how
Royce.
much worse she would have felt if Mirabelle had been murdered and then part of her soul stapled to yours.
At least
Right?
it wasn't Beatrice.
Yeah.
Royce likes to pour the tea.
I love how much you all hate Beatrice, although Beatrice has done nothing.
No, literally, she's done.
Literally nothing.
She's just that banal.
So Luka will say, "How did you get my letter?"
Yes, delivered by your dog, who probably isn't your dog and is probably a Kandra. Royce pours the tea and then reaches for a bottle of alcohol, holds it up to Luka.
I think I'd like a clear head. I'm gonna have a hard enough time following all of this.
Okay.
As is.
Royce does pour some into his.
Yeah.
Puts it back and gives it.
By all means.
So yeah, your dog probably a Kandra. Yeah.
All right.
We good work with your letter. It did make it immediately obvious that something was going on.
Yes. I was, kidnapped. Should have seen that one coming. That Oh, you
yes.
know, you live and learn.
Yes. Ghost's father is a constable.
You don't say. Wow. Well, that
yeah.
will hopefully help us.
Yeah.
The constable, you like the head of the entire precinct in an octant?
Yeah.
How? So, how did things go with Dervish's sister? I'm assuming, well, since he's alive.
Dervish is alive. His sister is dead.
You just saw Dervish.
Yeah, no, well, that's why he's like assuming it went well because Dervish is alive.
Ghost did shoot her in the head.
Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Yeah. I don't think I'm made out for this sort of thing. Oh, I had to lie so much. Your grandmother is terrifying.
Yes, she is. Isn't she?
Grabs the alcohol.
Hilarious thing is Hallie is just like, I guess maybe she's a little scary, but she didn't seem that intimidating to me. But Hallie also has no society cluefulness.
You weren't arm in arm with her.
No, I was pointing a gun at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It was terrifying, but glad you guys were there to get me out.
Yes.
Oh, some information for you. Ray filled me in about, there's this, I maybe heard the word before, but there's this thing called hemalurgy.
Yes.
And it involves, I didn't follow it precisely, but it involves some spikes and I was going to be a sacrifice, but we were looking for a way to get me out of it. That was the plan originally. I honestly was hoping in all of this that Rafe would finally have to take a position and declare his loyalties one way or another. Of course, that doesn't happen, so it's ambiguous as usual. For all I know, he was leading me along.
He has declared a position.
Excuse me?
So I have two things to tell you. One of the plate we stole. It turns out that had to do with her hemalurgy. It's a whole thing.
So I was having a hard time when you were babbling over me and talking about my ear.
Yeah.
You actually know.
Unfortunately.
Interesting.
The other thing is, so
is this Ian pausing or is this Royce
both?
Pausing?
Royce, you can.
So
Royce is not cool and collected at the moment.
So Luka will jump in on that. Because that's what Luka does. He fills space.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, so my grandmother, though, knows that you know about hemalurgy then.
She does now.
Oh, that might be an issue.
Yeah. But
yes,
making sure you made it out alive and not horribly maimed in a hemalurgic accident was more important.
Appreciate that very much. I do think... I'm thinking she might be more useful to us if she's somewhat implicated, but Mirabelle takes the fall.
Yes. But Rafe.
Oh, yes. He's such a jerk. Royce, you have no idea how
he came
awful
to see
it was.
me after he broke up with you. Years ago. He told me certain
probably
things.
Dreadful. I'm sorry you had to be in his snub company.
Your families wanted the two of you to marry.
Oh.
But that would have involved you in, well, similar business as tonight. And you were a very different person then. And Rafe wanted to protect you. Because he's in love with you. He broke up with you so that you would be safe. And he told me that they were Sliverists. They're trying to bring back the days of the Lord Ruler, and that he was trying to get involved so he could put a stop to it. And he didn't want to tell me otherwise, like, to keep, he made me promise to keep you safe, which is something I already would have done, but in order to tell me I stored that memory away. And then I lost the metal mind, which was inconvenient. But I did find it. But too late to tell you. And Royce will, like, reach out to put a hand on, like, Luka's shoulder, like, comfortingly, but, like, he will pull back. Like,
Luka will flinch back a bit and kind of raise a hand, and he'll say, "Sorry, I'm just processing." And this conversation was right after we broke up, but you're just remembering it now because you stored it away in
a
coin
delivered by another Kandra.
And did he say he was in love with me?
He did. I asked him.
He never said that when we were together. So all this time I've been thinking I was crazy, that I saw something and felt something between us that wasn't there. And he knew. Why did you store the memory?
And this is Ian trying to remember back to that scene. Because at the time, that knowledge was dangerous. But it wouldn't always be so. You're not the man you were when he broke up with you.
You know, it's funny. He said the same thing to me earlier today. But I think the issue is I was never given the chance by anyone to be the person I am now until I met Calcifer. So it's really hard to say, isn't it, how dangerous or how capable I was. Thank you for telling me, Royce. This is important information. I'm very tired. I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm assuming there's a meeting or something in the morning?
Yes, we're meeting at a pub.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'll, we can head over together in the morning. I might need some help dressing. I'm a little clumsy, but yes, we'll talk in the morning then. Sleep well. Yeah.
Royce will just watch you go to your room. Will slowly walk to his room, like shut the door behind him and just, it would never work. And like deflate.
Okay. Marelyn, what did you want to do before the next morning?
So, like, I was very confused about the timeline of the burning, and I think in the moment Marelyn would have reacted, but in the aftermath, she probably would be confused as well. So I wanted to see, like, because she thought she had a handle on it, so I wanted to, like, see if I could roll wits and have her put together that Adine's rioting caused them to throw the cocktails.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see if she can, like, make that connection in her head.
Yes,
like,
that's a wits
I was,
roll.
yeah.
Because you had their emotions in hand, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden they changed course. Yeah.
Yes. Because she like roughly would have known, like, Adine left right before they started, and like I thought it, but like just putting those pieces together, that like it was her. I like did she see Adine leave? I thought
Yes.
Okay. So
She
what
would have seen, she wouldn't have seen necessarily Adine, but she would have seen kind of that smallish shape, right?
Okay, yes.
Because she didn't really know who it was that went in.
Yeah.
But she could put together in the aftermath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what sort of
wits
rating?
roll of 3?
Okay.
Very
That's
nice.
a 3 and a nudge.
Yep.
Okay. So Marelyn kind of now knows, like, okay, that was probably Adine, and she, like, I had a handle on their emotions, but her interference of the rioting caused them to throw the fire.
Yeah.
bombs.
Yeah. It caused them to leave their post and then to start helping, which the speed of adding 4 people now to the 2, then,
Okay.
made
So-
it a different
Her
outcome.
goal wasn't necessarily she didn't know they were going to start throwing. Her goal was just to make them leave their post.
Yeah, her
Okay.
goal was essentially
okay.
go help your other people, right? Go
Yeah.
your friends need help, essentially, right? Like that sense of ally kinsmanship, aiding your friends, Comatose, right? Like
Yes.
she sent them away, essentially, right, to go help their people, and she didn't know that they were throwing bombs. But
Yeah.
I don't know that she necessarily cared either.
no,
Yeah. Okay.
it was just
Okay.
get out of my way so I can leave now, please.
Okay.
Okay. Next morning, late morning, you all arrive at the pub. Slowly trickle in.
Successfully sneaking past my parents again.
I get a big greasy
I think-
breakfast and have a pint with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hallie would have to get up a little bit early. She's probably pretty groggy, coming in really late, getting up really early. But doing that, she manages to avoid her parents, if that's her
She's not quite ready for that.
goal.
I'm no longer wearing the wig.
You probably should be.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Royce looks like he hasn't slept. It's not looking great.
Mm.
Luka's very layered. Like he like dressing like he has like a hat like that's pulled down low and like a coat with like kind of a bit of an overcape to it, you know, like he's very like shrouded in like darker colors. Like he's...
Hallie will kind of reach out, sort of tap him on the arm, like, good to have you back in one piece.
Oh, thank you, Hallie. It's good to be back. My solo adventure was maybe a little misguided, but glad you guys made it.
Marelyn probably looks the most composed of the group this morning, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, Luka. That got a bit dicey in there at one point.
Yes. When you left, did you see Rafe leave?
Oh, I warned Rafe of the fire before I left.
Not that it matters much anyway, but good to know.
Who was that guy anyway? You see, you seem to care about him.
It's just messy university drama stuff, but
wait,
he
Royce,
might be a source of information.
Okay, Royce,
so.
Did you say he was called Rafe? Was that Rafe? Okay,
I think it is Rafe.
That makes sense. Okay, all right, yeah, okay.
And I will also say, like out of character, you guys have maybe noticed or taken note of it to varying extents, but Luka has like talked about Rafe to pretty much anyone.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Like,
I'm trying to remember, did Royce share that tidbit of information with the rest of us about Rafe embedding deliberately? I think I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, we know.
I didn't tell the Royce is in love, that Rafe is in love with.
Right, but we know that he's like, he's undercover.
Yeah.
So, yes, he might be of help in untangling all of this. But I'm out of the loop. Royce filled me in a bit last night, but is there a plan from here?
I have some information on Adine coming my way. We can use that.
Actually kind of surprised that Marelyn didn't pick that information up on the way here.
We don't know when it's going to arrive.
And it wouldn't have arrived yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was going to take him some time.
Yeah.
Like he said, he had other things to deal with.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know you guys, I feel a little bit out of my depth with all this whole nobility, religious cult business.
Can someone please debrief me on exactly what happened in there?
Oh, right.
So at first they were going to stab Luka and give his allomancy to someone else, and then Royce managed to talk them around to instead going to stab this other chick and give her stuff to Luka. And I figured either way that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So he sort of crashed their party.
Yes, I really didn't, want to be stabbed particularly.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It would have been a piercing.
I mean...
That's rather
informed
fashionable,
consent
I guess.
on that sort of thing, though, right?
But as much as I wish Mirabelle ill, I'm not sure I'd want her dead necessarily.
Yeah.
Piece of her stuck to you.
Yeah,
Anyways,
is nasty business.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I did have a thought. My grandmother is, I think we're all realizing, quite dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I don't like it.
I'm not so sure you should attend that tea that she wants you at.
I really think I would like to. I did mention her involvement to the Connors already, so I think she's implicated in this, but I do still worry about her.
I think you setting foot in her house is dangerous to you.
I don't disagree with that, but I think with the right preparation, hopefully I can get in and out safely and handle myself.
Should have thrown a chair at her. Oh, Marelyn, I threw a chair at a guy.
Yeah. It was quite impressive.
It was the one who really deserved it, too. That was perfect aim.
What
I
I propose
regret is that I didn't get to punch him.
My concern is mainly that she may have the resources and influence to slip out of whatever net the constables are going to set for her, and that it may be more helpful to us to strike some sort of bargain with her that she doesn't take the full fall. We lay the greater majority on Mirabelle and Sveth. She gets off maybe a little easier, but we have her in our debt. And I have some ideas on how to do that. And of course, if she doesn't agree, we can give all the information we have to the constables and see where the chips fall.
Last night, when you were inside, the constables arrived to set fire, as you know, and I was handling it. And then I believe Adine came out, and her interference with my soothing caused them to act. I'm not sure either the constables or Adine are as trustworthy allies as we would maybe hope.
No, Connors never have been.
Well, and it is also strange that the Connors were setting fire to a building instead of busting into
arrest them?
the cultists, right? Like, that strikes people as weird.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this one. Because burning buildings down is fun. But generally, the Connors don't usually use that as their number one tactic.
Which makes me wonder if maybe those Connors there were aligned, but others. And I don't know how they would have engineered it, so only the loyal ones were there that night, but they might have concerns about some of their colleagues.
There was that bell calling some of their number away.
Oh, yeah.
They did say only the people we expect have arrived before they did anything. So I do believe it was an intentional choice to burn it while people were inside.
So would you...
So, I guess what I'd propose is a calculated risk. My grandmother is a careful woman. Even if she's fairly confident, she has some influence among the constables. If we offer her a safer route, she might take that instead of chancing getting something worse if we don't cooperate.
What I've just been thinking is we know how money talks, especially when Connors are involved. And so I'm wondering if they were burning the place down because we're dealing with powerful people here. It sounds like your grandmother is a powerful lady. And so arresting these kind of people doesn't normally work.
Why we do this job in the first place.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, I think we will have to take her down without involving the Connors.
Bear in mind, there's more to this than just the hemalurgy. There is also everything with House Hastings all tying up to Alariel.
And
all
I
of
think
the factories that have been killing people.
And I think that's the other thing. I think if we can buy some time... My worry is if we go all out and try to involve the Connors, she'll get out of it somehow.
Yeah.
Whereas if we can keep tabs on her, we may be able to buy ourselves time to make our next move by playing along a little bit.
Makes sense to me.
Yes, I just worry because I know she is dangerous, and that was made very clear last night when she had no problem trying to let the others die so she could escape. And I think Marelyn, whatever else she thinks about this situation, is trying to get across the idea that Adine deliberately rioted them to burn the building behind her. It was not an accident. She wants the crew to think it was a deliberate choice on Adine's part.
And to that note,
Marelyn never changes in some ways.
So what I was thinking is I could attend tea. Maybe some of you could be stationed outside. We could arrange a signal. And Marelyn, I'd like you to come in with me, and just keep all my emotions soothed away. And then
if we have to stage a rescue, it's going to be a lot tougher to bust into your grandmother's mansion than it would be for us to do what we did last night.
Well, I can give you the layout and tell you the window where we'd be meeting. Although I suppose you could all come in with me.
I'm not sure that we want to link Royce to the rest of us right now.
Yes.
I don't think I
or
should.
whoever wishes to, I guess. That's
all of
the
you
other
together
thing.
will.
I don't think, Royce, that you should come back to the flat again. I
think that is fair.
She's going to be more interested in you than in me, to be honest, and I think you will be more in danger because of the
I already spent the night packing
information. So, do any of you? I'm sorry, I'm very ignorant on this. I have a hard time keeping up with everyone else's lives. It's a character flaw, I know. I don't really understand where all of you live, but does anyone have a place for Royce to stay?
About that. So, I've kind of been between places for the past, 5-6 years.
Royce is getting a new roommate.
No, he's not. He's not.
Hey, Royce.
Can he afford a place on his own?
I've got a bit of money stashed away. Not a huge amount, but enough for a little place. I was gonna ask Marelyn if she could help me find a place, but you wanna
I think it would be best if we were separate. We live separately.
That's fine. No hard feelings.
But Royce, you'll be unprotected. I think you're underestimating my grandmother here, and I really think it would be best if you were with someone and you weren't alone.
I tend to agree.
Well,
you have a giant target painted on your back right now.
This is Ian smiling. Not Ian.
Come on. What kind of thieving crew would we be if we didn't look out for one another?
I think that is a matter to discuss later.
Okay.
Well, for now, though, I hope you'll accept an escort back to the flat and wherever we're going to go until we figure next steps out. I just don't think you should be alone.
Very well.
My judgment is that it would be far too dangerous.
Perhaps Marelyn will be able to help me look.
For new apartments?
Yeah.
Even if you guys could find places next door to each other or nearby enough,
Mm-hmm.
I think the rest of us would feel better.
Or they could move in with, like, what's your two's living situation? Could they move in with either of you?
My
No.
parents live with me, and they don't know about any of this.
As you said, there is a target on my back. And the farther that target is from the rest of you, the better.
Plus, Hallie's parents might think they're dating, which would be very awkward.
My mother is rather obsessed with the idea of me dating literally anyone. But
You should not have said that in front of Marelyn.
probably not. Hallie's very tired right now.
Yeah,
And she was also trying very hard to dodge talking about that too much in depth.
Yeah. Marelyn has a place, but none of you guys know where Marelyn lives.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know she has a place somewhere.
This tracks so much that Marelyn is just like,
An enigma.
I have my own space. It's not for anyone else. It's a secret. Like, that's just.
I think if you really need, like, Marelyn will offer to help you guys find places if you really need help, but it's there's no guarantee it'll be anywhere near where she lives.
Yeah, cool. Cool. So, what's next?
Sounds like you're attending tea.
Yes. And I guess it's just who comes with me and how do you want to come with me?
I'm going to GM something.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to say that all planning can be done between now and next season. Because I think if we're going to have a tea, it is going to happen next season.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen today.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair.
So we can say we made a plan for the tea.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we go our separate ways. I guess because people want Royce to have an escort everywhere.
Who's he gonna pull aside? Who is it?
I mean, so I assume like, because Marelyn has been offered to help him locate an apartment.
Okay.
And she's the one he needs to talk to. That I imagine that we go to Luka and Royce's flat, where he goes to his room and gets his packed bag. And then Royce and Marelyn head off into the city by themselves. Mr. Molly. The last few weeks have showed me that I don't believe this life is for me. I believe it is time for my involvement with your crew to end. We will hand over the unsealed metal mind. This should contain everything you need.
Sorry, unsealed, because does that mean I can
You
have
can
it?
any of you can use it. Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's the one we got from the con, the heist.
Saren.
Yeah, okay. And your plans? From my understanding of what occurred last night, you won't be able to escape this entirely.
Yes, but Thadina Lariel wants me next to Luka. I need to be as far away as possible.
Yeah, that's the only reason he wants space from Luka right now.
What are your plans? going forward?
I think the less you know, the better. I'm giddy. Royce is very dour. He's very depressed right now. This is gonna be life.
And
Matt
this
is
conversation
furious.
is just you and Marelyn
just
too.
me and Marelyn.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what would.
You guys set me up for this so beautifully.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you all.
I'm gonna twist the knife in the rest of you guys. I think this is what Marelyn would. Marelyn would just nod at you and say, I understand. With these sorts of things, a clean break is best. I suppose myself and the rest of my crew will not be hearing from you again.
No. You will not.
Well, I guess Hallie's about to go back to being grouchy for a while.
Okay. Goodbye, Lady Cress. And Royce will leave.
I think Marelyn will just kind of be on her way and plan to come up with what she's going to tell the crew at the next meeting.
I'm shocked and appalled. Legitimately
I told you you
rather
were
upset
going to
right
hate
now.
I am so mad at Ian and Grace right now, but it was so in
Terrible.
character for both of them.
Absolutely terrible.
I didn't quite go the route of if you contacted them again, there will be consequences, because there was an understanding between both of us that was going to be the case.
Yeah, well, and Marelyn doesn't trust Royce. She honestly thinks Royce is a liability to the crew.
I almost messaged Grace, letting her know Royce was going to quit the crew. But I'm glad I didn't, because that worked.
But who's gonna acquire information for us now?
Who can say?
Hey,
I am fully
this isn't
planning
over.
I'm fully planning on playing Royce next season.
Oh, I
Just
thought
keep
that's
that
what
in
was
mind.
happening.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying. Okay,
No,
that's fine. That's
Royce
fine.
is quitting the crew.
This is just gonna fracture the crew, because depending on what Marelyn says, Hallie might wind up blaming her.
Yeah. Oh, this is
This is juicy.
juicy.
The thing is, Marelyn was never going to fight that. The do I twist the knife was, do I leave the door open, or do I tell him not to contact the rest of the crew again?
And none of you all have any idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Royce, as you're walking away down the street, a messenger
Okay.
comes up to you and hands you a letter.
Okay. Who's the letter from?
It is from the bank.
Uh-oh.
I did not account for this in my plans. This is uncharted territory. Okay. Which bank? The evil bank?
Yes.
Okay.
The one that your family's bank became a part of.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
Entrel Consortium or whatever.
I opened the letter.
Dear Royce Hadriel, your trust fund has been released.
Well, that's unexpected. And
And now Royce can just go jaunt off to the coast and forget all about us.
mhm. Okay. Voice
Also
will-
in the envelope
Mhm,
is another small card.
mhm.
There's no name on it or anything, but it's in a nice flowing script. And it says, there are strings attached.
Oh.
Do I recognize the handwriting? And I feel like I would have, let's say this was Adine Alariel's handwriting. I feel like I would have seen examples of her handwriting.
Yeah, then, yeah.
She moves quick. Wow.
Okay. Royce tucks that away. It does not change. That makes his change plans revert a little bit. He's not going to go to the bank, but he will find, he can find a cheap place to live.
After that point, the crew does not hear from Royce again.
Mm-hmm.
For a good portion of time. There is, of course, next season going to be a tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And clearly next season we're going to have a wedding as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more than one.
Ooh.
And we'll see if any more coins start to show up.
Hallie goes home and has a nice awkward conversation with her parents, but at least she gets to say that she visited the cousins.
Yeah. And your parents asked so many questions about the cousins, and
Yeah, and she's able to answer some stuff, and
doing.
Presumably they'll get a letter from my aunt. I don't know how much about the Koloss-blooded raider attack is going to be in that letter. Hallie might kind of gloss over those details.
Yeah, that's definitely included. Your aunt is quite a gossip, if we do remember that fact.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Just well, we knew we found out about them, we saw them heading towards that, we had to go and warn people, and we just sort of were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or the right place at the right time, depending on your point of view.
And Marelyn.
Yes.
When you do finally get around to telling the crew that Royce is gone, Ghost says, amongst all the other reactions, says, Royce told me that I should tell you that I might know where we can find more information about Calcium.
Well,
Is too busy trying to hide how upset she is to really pay much attention to what Ghost is saying.
Mm-hmm.
telling someone to share information doesn't sound quite like him, but I will be glad to hear it. Whatever you have.
I think that's where we will end our season.
Fair enough.
Stay tuned for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
I feel like
my
I need
god.
to sit down and take such good notes.
Oh
to,
god, yeah. Where things stand.
There's so many threads.
Oh boy. Oh man. This was a ton of fun, guys.
Oh.
Round of applause for Natasha.
Round of applause for Natasha.
I feel a little sick. I feel a little sick.
You have done an absolute incredible job this nearly a year. It's been nearly a year that we've been working on this.
Recording.
Yeah. And I think this has been absolutely fantastic. I want to say thank you to Natasha for this.
Thank you all for indulging me and
Thank you for going along with all of our ideas.
Speaking of which, Ian, if you have anything to add.
Yes,
You are
I do
welcome to.
have a nice little MCU style mid-credit sequence.
You what?
Oh yeah. I wrote a version of this immediately after our session a month ago. Okay. So we find ourselves in the little apartment that Royce has found. It's night. You can see the mists outside. He's seated at a desk lit by a single candle.
He's been a conjurer the whole time.
What? You don't
feel
know.
like I know where
That
this
is
is
so
going, and I am so bad.
Royce appears to be writing a letter, periodically looking out. And as he finishes, he takes the candle, drips some wax, and takes a coin from a pouch on the desk, and presses it in firmly before sealing it in an envelope prepared, and sets it beside another letter, open and waiting to be read. Then he stands and takes the pouch of coins given to him by Hallie, and begins to move to the window. Okay. And our perspective shifts a little as we see his face for the first time, which is in tears. And he thinks back to a conversation with Marelyn on the road, where she accused him of storing away the memories that hurt. It was never something he had done, but in this moment, it feels like the only option. So he pours the coins from the pouch into his waiting hand. And he looks up and out and speaks in a challenge, in a plea, since he took such care of the last one. He begins to store every memory of working with the crew for the last several months.
Oh no.
Well, since he joined the crew. Then, one by one, coins begin to fall into the mist.
You
piece of garbage you are!
terrible.
What is wrong with you?
I loved it. I warned you, you were gonna hate it. You didn't think quitting the crew was the worst thing I could do. Like, come on, that's
You
that's small
monster.
stuff.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
I'm
He
sorry.
can't be used against you.
That's not the point.
So that would include the hemalurgy knowledge.
Yep.
Okay.
And
As if Hallie wasn't upset enough when Royce does finally come back and doesn't remember them.
Terrible.
She's just gonna break.
Well, no, the hemalurgy knowledge would be in the unsealed metal mine he gave to.
Okay.
yeah.
But-
So we have that, but he doesn't remember
Yeah.
he had that.
Yeah.
Because
As far as he's concerned, it's 3 months ago. Or 3 or 4 months ago.
Unbelievable.
So the number of people he knows in the crew was cut in half.
he just knows Luka, right?
Luka.
Wait, who else does he know? Did Royce
He
know
knew
other
a
people?
certain pseudonym.
He knew, yeah.
Oh.
He does not know that it's Marelyn, but he has met her before under.
Oh, did not know that.
Oh
In the session 0.
Was it?
Yeah.
I forgot about this.
Yep.
Well, looks like I'm going to have to become a patron and rewatch
Yeah.
the session 0.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Terrible.
You all are very sad and looking forward to next season and very sad.
Yes, yeah. So, plan is, guys, we're gonna... firstly, Dervish gets to his own place and eventually starts volunteering back at the Brass Ladle. Eventually. Don't know if that'll happen before the beginning of next season. Don't know what the time is going to look like.
Yeah.
So, we're going to continue recording these, as I said. However, we're going to stop releasing them for a little while. Last time we did this, we had like 4 pre-recorded before we start releasing them, and we kind of caught up with ourselves pretty quick. See how that goes. So sometime next year, we'll start releasing them, I guess. However, in between, we do have plans for one-shots. I think... Matt, do you mind me saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. The first one, I believe, will be run by Matt. He has a wonderful Era 1 idea that he wants to do. A nice little one-shot, potentially 2-shot. And so you'll see that at some point, most likely in the first half of next year. And then, we'll just see how Season 2 goes. But we will continue making these, however, you might have to wait a little while before we release them. So thank you everyone so much. Don't forget about this week's giveaway. Obviously, we're not going to have a next episode to announce the giveaway, but what's going to probably happen is within the next month or two, we'll probably do a post-season stream, and we'll announce the winner of the giveaway during that. As I said, don't forget that you can, as always, you can buy the Mistborn Adventure Game rulebooks at mistborngames.com. We have a offer code 17MBDice, where you spend $20 more and you'll get a free set of dice with that. One final thank you to Natasha for running this game for us.
Thank you.
I want to thank the other...
again for having me.
No worries. I want to thank the other players who have been an absolute incredible sport when it comes to scheduling and just being absolutely incredible during this game. You guys have done an amazing job. You can find the rest of us on 17shard.com for your news, theories, discussion, and fun. We have Discord, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube. And if you like our stuff, you can support us on Patreon, where we have that Session 0 that we all need to rewatch to remember some things, apparently. So stay tuned for more. See you guys in Season 2. And keep those dice rolling. Bye.
Bye.